So, during our last long rest, our adventurers finished up all of their ordeals in the quaint village of Millwood. A place where normally known for its coziness and welcoming atmosphere to adventurers and travelers, a place to rest and retire to, turned into a nightmare for anyone. A place where people died and were presented in eviscerated bodies and splatters of blood that decorated walls that were once designed for designing ale or creating something beautiful turned into something quite macabre. But with the assistance of our adventurers who went to Millwood, they were able to put an end to it. Now, after that was all taken care of, they began their journey back towards Crestfall, a city that for now is turning out to be some sort of hub, perhaps. A place where the adventurers can return to and pick up their next adventure, maybe spot a couple of things that maybe they need for their future. A place to gather. And once upon returning, they had a number of things that they wanted to do on their list to get sorted before going off on their next adventure. So they returned to the Guild of Crestfall. They gave in their 2 evidence items to be able to tell the guild that 2 jobs that they wanted them to do have been completed. One of them being the ridding of goblins and beginning to discover the underlying mystery of the recent attacks. The brass statues representing some sort of sun disk, the cult that seems to have some sort of ideal towards something called the Sacred Flame. And somehow all of this ties in with an overwhelming power being able to control the lackeys of goblins and bugbears to their own disposal to make small attacks on nearby settlements, looking for some sort of idols. So, with all of this information gathered, they returned it back to the leader of the guild, Gulmak, who, after a small conversation, mentioned that he thought it would be better if that information stays amongst the group. He trusted them, and thought that if this information gets out, or if they were to send it to the capital, maybe there's already people within this cult of the Sacred Flame infiltrated that could start messing around with that information. So, our adventurers, knowing the next location, or a location where this Sacred Flame cult could be in the Witchlight Willows Forest over in Edawn, they got sent by Gulmak on essentially a secret mission to go and investigate this area to see if they could find any more traces of this cult. Aside from that, they also spoke to a, ironically enough, crestfallen person by the name of Bren, and brought him some sort of maybe relief or purpose. It's hard to determine what it was, but upon Bren seeing the lock of hair that they found at the keep and some of the information that they divulged, Bren seemed either lifted of curse or maybe lifted with purpose. But regardless, he went off and went his own way, saying that he had an appointment to keep with someone. And off he went. So, with a new adventure found, and a task given by Gulmak to proceed into this cult of the Sacred Flame, their journey takes them to Edawn. Many, many days travel away. It would be a waste to just run there and back, and there's no time against them. They thought that it would be a good time to pick up any other jobs along the way and do some sightseeing, and maybe even do some of their see places and do things that would help their own adventures and their own goals that they all have. So, after gaining their spoils, purchasing some new armor, some items, miscellaneous things needed for their ventures, they prepare themselves for their next set-off. So, that's where we'll pick it up today. In the nice city of Crestfall, bustling as usual. You guys arrived in the early morning because you guys saw the kids take the one fallen leaf from the tree. which always happens in the morning. So you guys saw that. So it is probably anywhere between the times after you guys all went and did all your buying and speaking to a couple of other NPCs and sorting some stuff out to gather some information. I would say that probably took you maybe between an hour or so, and you guys can now probably sit at around 11 o'clock to 12 o'clock. So you've got plenty of day ahead of you. So, is there anything over the week that we waited, is there anything that any of you thought that you wanted to do whilst you were here? Are you guys spending more time here? What are you doing?
Just want to pick up my... I'm going to sell my stuff.
Yep.
Pick up the knife.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, honestly, I don't really have anything else to do.
Just
Okay.
as a little side note from last time, while people were like in the shops and stuff, Celwydd would have just gone into a tailor to get her dress repaired. That's all.
Nice. No longer burnt and destroyed.
Full of holes. Yep.
Any other things that anyone wanted to cover? Take that as a
Not
no.
that I can think of.
I don't think so.
No.
Okay. Then, for simplicity's sake, as you are all gathered in the plaza of Crestfall with the large stone bark tree and its azure leaves that beautifully shimmer in the autumn winds and light, what do you guys want to do from here? What's the plan?
Is the plan now?
Do believe we're skedaddling
It
to
is gonna-
opening the map. Rome is rest.
Yeah, so we had a few
Yeah.
options, right? But most of it seemed to be that we take the sort of route from like Rome's Rest up to Primtier, across the bridge, and then like into Edawn. Like that seems to be the
Yeah.
general route.
Pretty much.
Yeah. And then the
Okay.
potential stop on the way. What's it called?
Let me help.
Temple?
Yeah, the Starborn Temple. That's the one.
Yeah.
There you go. There you
Yeah,
go.
so
Look at the
to
tactical.
Rome is the Starborn.
Look at that.
What are we stepping to the starboard for? Sorry.
If
I actually
people,
don't know.
I'm just saying it's a potential if people are interested.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, sure.
I'm
Do
definitely
feel-
stopping
I
by
was
there.
gonna say I do feel Eldrith. more
Yeah,
than
I mean if
can
we're gonna be
do.
right there, yeah, let's do it.
It's like right there, yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah,
having
that's
a
for
look
now.
at the map, we've got journeying 3 days by foot on the way to Rome's Rest. That's probably your first call of order. All right. If there's anything that you guys would like to do on the way, any like side walking or going somewhere else to deal with anything else that you want to keep in mind, then let me know. But if not, then we can begin our 3-day journey to the Romer's Rest.
Yeah.
Makes sense to me.
You need any rolls or anything? Or you gonna
I-
be doing some rolling?
I will be doing some rolling, and you guys will be doing some rolling.
Oh shit!
Hey.
Give me one of them bandit attacks. Come on.
Yeah, go on. Just give us the
Blast.
random dragon encounter already.
Oh, hell yeah.
Well. We'll see. So, all right then. So, having a look at this map, let me just make sure I've turned off the grid so I can free move the token. All right. So, as the first day travels from Crestfall on the road, you guys make good headway. It is walking, so it will take the full 3 days. It isn't any less time to get from Crestfall to Romer's Rest. Luckily, as the map depicts, these are the main traveled roads. The main roads that traverse around Mistyrrel, as they call them, the mercantile roads, tend to be generally easy of traversing. Most people can do so without issue unless there's something particular happening. And the journey for the first day, as you guys set off from Crestfall, which is arguably one of the places that is the most controlled, there are no problems. You walk through the kind of forest-clumbered roads that leave kind of a sight of whimsy even in the distant fog that rolls down from the Lost Lands. And towards the end of the first day of travel, as you guys start approaching the bridge and towards the I suppose closer forests where the golden trees of the Lost Lands can start to be seen towards the end day. But yeah, the first day goes without any issues. If there's anything that you guys wanted to do along the day of travel, then obviously let me know. But if not, then the first day will go without any problemos.
Yeah, just as we're sort of walking
Mhm.
as this, before the evening sort of sets in and before we settle down, Ambrose is going to sort of like in front of the rest of the group, do that sort of like turn and backwards walk and sort of gesturing with a notebook in his hand that he keeps writing in. And I've been thinking, if we're going to be adventuring together, don't you think that we should like maybe give ourselves some sort of swanky name?
I suppose all the
Maybe.
best famous groups do have one.
I'm not really
Well, like,
fussed on a name. You can choose,
Well, I
I
mean-
suppose.
I don't want to choose myself. I think we could just put forward some good sort of suggestions. I only have one myself, but worth consideration. Since, of course, our most notable and, I would say, eye-catching figure, besides myself, and he sort of indicates Hjarlgron and his giant sort of stature, I figured that people would be mostly drawn to see our young Hjarlgron here first, and the rest of us, in comparison, are quite small. So I was going to say we are Hjarlgron and the Who's, but for now, just a little. And he just sort of scribbles it in his notebook a little bit.
Hold it on the hoops!
Oh god! It
Oh
killed me
my
the first
God.
time you said it the other week, and it's killing me now, man. Oh,
He scribbles it down in his notebook and looks at everyone's faces.
there is no change in Hjarlgron's face.
How do you feel about that, Hjarlgron?
I'm smiling. I can't do it.
See Ambrose as he's walking just puts like the marking of a question mark next to it in his book.
I mean, if you wish to use my name, go for it.
We'll put it down on the suggestions. And he scribbles at the top of a page a group names question mark.
Amazing.
Well, if no one else has any bright ideas, and then he turns and carries on walking, slips his notebook back in his pack.
All right, then. Sure. The day goes by without issue. You guys have some idle chit chat, some standard conversation, maybe pointing at certain things that can be seen from here. Especially towards the end of the day, you would begin to be able to see the golden trees of the Lost Lands beginning to perch up from the northwestern side of Mysteral, and then at all times, regardless of probably the point in view, because the forests aren't ginormous jungles, you would probably still be able to see the tethered floating islands of the Griffin's Roost on the eastern side. But yeah, other than that, the night would go by without any problems. Is anyone keeping an eye out during that travel, out of curiosity? Just generally
Yes.
observing.
Well, I'd say I'm observing, and if there's anything like, I don't know, creature-wise, animal-wise, that I do spot, I'm just gonna make a full sprint at it and beat the shit out of him. I'll give you a perception.
I will also stay up with
A three.
Hjarlgron.
Alright.
And yeah, just sort of sitting by the camp with him, just in awkward silence as he scribbles in his notebook. If you don't mind, Hjarlgron, I'm just going to stretch my legs, maybe go for a little tinkle.
All right. Don't stray too far.
No. You keep your little peepers peeled. We didn't want anything sneaking up on you, right?
I just smile. I can try.
All right then. And just sort of strolls off into the woods casually, and he's gone for a good 20 minutes or so.
Okay. I think by like 10 minutes, I'll like stand up and look around, see if I can see you. I'll do a perception check just to see if I do.
Yeah, sure.
19.
Holy shit.
Well, it depends if he would be nearby
Wow.
or not, since he's only observing his recent moment.
I would be would probably be somewhere in the sort of distant of the forest. You might be able to hear like a rustling at some point, and like the sounds of a struggle before like a sort of. And then he returns, just sort of casually, hands in pockets.
In Hjarlgron's mind, one of two things has just happened. He's taking a dump, or he's cranking a hug, so Hjarlgron will not go out.
He sort of returns like a good bit later, hands in pockets, and just needed
Did you
that.
enjoy yourself?
Oh, quite. It's just sits back down casually.
In Hjarlgron's mind, he now knows.
He now knows.
He now knows what Ambrose is into.
Detective Hjarlgron has solved the case.
Oh,
He knows that Ambrose is into some freaky shit in the wild.
He just likes to do stuff like out in the open.
Yeah.
each their own, you know.
Yeah.
I'm a free spirit, baby.
A bit too free, but
Alright. Over the course of that day, on the main road, you would have seen general adventurers coming back and forth, standard merchants, even just normal-looking people in groups of families or whatnot. But again, there is this kind of emphasis on clusters of soldiers from Printier wearing their light blue golden armors with the wax seals over their shoulder pauldrons. It is now quite noticeable that they are either constant or circling patrols across the main road of Mistral now. Or at least towards Crestfall, anyway. But yeah, upon the second day, as you guys make your journey again, for the second day, during the daytime, let me have a little look-see here. Nice. Anyone that has a higher passive perception than a 5...
oh, nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Setting the
That's
bar
a lot
nice
of
and
us.
high there.
yeah, clearly my stealth rolls were absolutely impressive. Anyone with a higher perception than 5 will be able to notice over the course of at least 2 hours. It doesn't happen in the morning, but probably maybe after several hours of being on the road, a brown feathered bird begins to follow you guys from up high. Initially, you don't take any notice of it, but you get to the point where those of you that are most perceptive notice that it just perches. Every time that you guys take a break, especially when you started crossing the bridge with the river, if you went down to the river and like had a drink or refilled your water skins or whatever, it would perch itself, wait, and then as soon as you guys go, it would start going again.
Was the last bird brown as well?
Yes, it
Yeah.
was, yeah.
That fucking bird again.
Oh, I'm tempted to yeet a javelin at the
bird?
fucker.
I'll like look down. Rose. Where is this bird? Is it the same one?
He indicates it. I guess if we're sort of we've all spotted this fucking bird. He indicates the bird, and rolls his eyes under his sort of glasses. I guess it's the same one again. It was stalking us for a few hours. Nights
Nod.
back.
Takes out a javelin, which is like the size of a person, and I'll fucking launch it at the bird.
Alright, roll to hit.
One second, I need to cut the javelin to get the thingy. Javelin attack, go!
Yeah, 22 hits. The javelin flies through. The bird just blows up into a pile of feathers.
I'll go grab my javelin back.
Well, that deals with the bird, I suppose.
This poor bird keeps getting fucking javelin, bro.
Hey man.
One
you
day I'm
keep
gonna give it
wasting
like,
gold.
one day I'm gonna give it like fucking +3 AC against javelins. It's trained. It's like,
Or what is it, like deflect missile?
yeah, literally.
Uncanny
God.
dodge.
As it's coming past, it just perches on it and rides it.
Yeah. Another point to mention, as I realise as well, as you guys get to the bridge and cross over it, this one is being manned by 4 Primtier soldiers. They don't stop you or halt you or really anything. They give you a nod, and some of them even like say good morning to you and making sure that you guys are okay as you guys walk past. And obviously it could have been a good point for you guys to like stop by and refill waters at the riverbank. But past this point now that you've kind of gone past from the severely forest-heavy side of Mistral, you guys are now going up to one of the large plains of Mistral. You guys have gone from kind of concealed shrubbery and bushes and treetops to now being kind of pushed out into this open, large fields. Just tundras and tundras of large grass fields. You can see here off in the distance, because it's also it's like plateaus, they're very flat, so there's not many hills either. You can see miles in the distance, and you can see like herds of creatures, birds flying around of all kinds, and you arrive at the flattest land of Mistral. You can't see Roma's Rest yet, as it's still a full day away, but yeah, it's just a change of scenery as you guys go into like long, tall grass plateaus and traversing roads that don't really feel as claustrophobic anymore. Alright, and on the third day, as we arrive towards Roma's Rest, doesn't take long until, even being still a solid 20 minutes away as you guys traverse and bend around a couple of corners and manage to, the few hills that do exist, you kind of go over them or around them. Plenty of halflings carry around these large carts filled with like pumpkins and radishes and cucumbers kind of walk past you, and you can begin to see a bit more life begin to walk around you in general of other people. And as you take twists and turns, eventually you see in the distance the Roma's Rest. Now, the Roma's Rest, not represented very well by the image, is particularly odd. Upon arriving, upon a large and flat plain, you see the classic and inviting architecture of the roaming culture. Anyone that would like to make a history check for that culture may do so.
Hell yeah.
I'll do just that.
We do those. History.
Damn, 25.
Holy
Damn,
shit.
the yin and the yang.
Oh, the fucking duality.
The yin, yang, and the middle. Like, holy hell.
After all, I'm not from here.
Ambrose, for you, maybe, like, you looked at it, but I don't know, you've taken your fair few laps. Yeah, maybe it's all melded. For Eldrith and Celwydd, though, you know that the roaming culture is a group of people. They're called the roamers. And they have been around for centuries. They're as old as time itself. They are generally mostly known for their beings across Kelmont, but at this point, roamers are across anywhere in the world. They are essentially people that roam around the entirety of the world, never find roots necessarily, and are incredibly kind and giving people. Wherever they go, they will build something for someone or create something for someone. They will give someone something that means that they have made a statement and a change somewhere. The roaming cultures never decided to settle down in cities, so you would never see someone who calls themselves a roamer ever be in one place for the same amount of time. And generally, they are the most neutral party you could ever come across. And one of the most wonderful things about finding a settlement of roamers is there are tall tales from any part of the world. Now, the buildings are always roughly the same. The buildings seem more like a cornerstone of a quaint village. Even if it is just one large building, it seems to be almost as if it's a cluster of a city that's just been lifted and plonked in the middle of somewhere. With brown, you can see that the large building has the staple of brown and overgrown mossy roof tiles that sit atop a beautifully painted white stone, reinforced with strong and hearty timber. that seems to make patterns of all sorts of mythical creatures on the sides of the building. It's almost as if storybooks are being told within the architecture itself. Balconies overlook long oak tables and dozens of barrels that serve as game tops, tiny tables, and places for people to gather around and drink ale and exchange stories. These are dotted not just inside of the tavern itself, but also all the way around it, almost as if it's created its own little settlement. On supporting pillars, nestled between large gatherings of wall ivy, and even on the inside of the large building, you can see flickering lights, of course. But these don't seem that ordinary. They're not your everyday fiery torches, no. The lights seem to be some sort of living wisp that emits comforting light, and the big clusters of them seem to be the nests that light up like a torch would. They seem to have formed themselves into this building as a nest in of itself. The creatures are small as bees clumped together. From this distance, as you guys continue approaching and walking towards it, and people already start waving your way and exchanging smiles or lifting a tankard, you can see that tabards, flags, and decor of every nation and civilization that has probably ever existed on Equin seems somehow scattered and represented onto this settlement. The patrons are also no different. From every shape, colour, and size, they gather, eat, and converse, and exchange their cultures, no matter where they're from. Half a dozen, if not more, stone brick chimneys can be seen exhaling smoke, most likely from the kitchens that are indoors, spreading this incredible odour that reaches your nose. Perhaps, amongst all of this, the thing that stands out the most of this weirdly cart, building, walking, roaming settlement is the most gigantic beast of burden that lies curled up at the end of the roamer's rest, almost in a ginormous pen. This colossal creature that seems to be only be able to be described like a rhino covered in hard layers of stone and mud. A piercing and jagged horn, almost appears to be made out of dried and hardened clay, comes out from its forehead. This brown, palleted creature rests happily, whilst other people, sat nearby and walking nearby, admire its size and its legend. Some even bring it giant stacks of rolled-up hay and feed it into its mouth, giving it pats. The creature seems to be a ginormous bulk of stone and mud, or at least covered in it at this point. It seems to have 4 eyes, 2 on either side of its long extended facial features, and a long beard that seems almost like made out of moss and hair at the same time that droops down from its long maw. It has 6 legs, all each muscular as the last, and a long winding tail that could probably knock out an entire neighborhood if it decided to swing it with enough force. But this creature seems to be nice and nested here with the roamers. As you arrive, what would you all like to do?
How big did you say it was?
Gigantic by size. It's probably half of the size of this settlement.
Oh, right.
Oh,
Wow.
joy.
Big boy.
That's
Yeah.
It's a moving settlement.
Without the elongated neck, you can probably imagine it very similar to the name of that dinosaur that has the really long neck, but I can't remember the name of it.
That's a few dinosaurs. You have to
Apparently.
narrow it down.
I think it's like the most common.
The most
long
commonly
one.
really tall neck that's in like every Jurassic Park film ever.
Diplodocus.
Stegosaurus.
It's like one of those, but it doesn't.
In Jurassic Park.
But it doesn't have the elongated neck. This is more stocky, like a rhino. But
It's
it's
like a
rough.
rhino.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it does have this giant like horn protruding from its forehead, but instead of it looking like ivory or cartilage or bone, it just seems to be, at least from here, it looks like hardened mud and clay.
Huh.
Brennan, I have any idea what this?
You may
Unit is-
roll a nature check.
Oh, I've got to get in on this.
Yeah, sure. Anyone that wants to even like look at it and even try and compel what it could possibly be, go for it. All right. Ambrose would know slightly more, But, as a gist, you would both be aware that there is a secret amongst the roamers, and every roamer clan ever has a beast of burden like this one. It is almost unknown to anyone who is outside of the circle of the roamers what these creatures are. Oh. Sorry, I had to sneeze.
Bless you.
There you go.
But, regardless, all of them, every clan of a roamer has always had one, and they are known to carry settlements upon their backs once the roamers are done in that place. Rumors say, Ambrose, that these creatures are capable of crossing oceans of distance without ever stopping for rest. Some say that they can sprout wings and fly over the waters when they want to cross continents, and others say that they burrow beneath the deepest, darkest extents of the dark hollows underneath, and that's how they cross continents. But, upon all of the others, the names of them differ, but generally a name given to them upon the roamers are Pegasus.
They
Right.
can definitely fly. They can definitely fly.
Ambrose looks at this massive creature and turns to the others. We are in the presence of a rare sight, ladies and gentlemen. May I give you a unicorn? Indicates them with his hands.
I'll look at Ambrose and
Oh.
squint.
Wow.
He looks at Hjarlgron and smirks.
I get down low and I like right next to his face. It's not good to lie, you know.
I'm not lying, Hjarlgron. I'm making just an exaggeration. It was a joke.
I thought jokes were supposed to be funny.
No. That one hurts.
Now it seems humor is wasted on someone with a dulled frontal lobe, I guess. It's a
No
Pegasus.
worries. We'll get better at it, and I'll tap Ambrose on the back.
You know what? I don't feel like joking at all now. It's Pegasus.
I just look at him, you see a big shit-eating grin go across his face.
It's odd, Celwydd. Whenever you've been told about Pegasus, they're normally a fey creature, normally a unicorn-like with angelic-like wings.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
This is what Ambrose was fucking going for.
Wait a minute.
So from what I would know about the history of the people, I would know that they have like a creature, but not what it's supposed to look like.
Yes, essentially. Well, you know a lot about the people, but maybe not about the actual
And
beast that they
Ambrose
carry.
knows this creature exists, but is only just piecing together like what the frick it does.
What's it for? Yeah. We have two halves of the knowledge. Wow, do you think they'll let us pet it?
Oh, I'm sure they will. I mean, you know, it's only been known to eat a few children every so often.
I don't think so. I mean, look at it. It looks sweet and friendly.
Yeah, but sometimes it sucks up the hay bales with such force that a child nearby just, straight in there.
I don't think so.
It should be
Children
fine,
makes
dear,
no
I think.
comment.
As you guys are
Why don't you give it a
admiring this large beast, a person walks up to you. A man, tall and muscular, with a strong build with dark skin. He seems to be roughly middle-aged, with a well-maintained and shaped beard. Dreads decorated with golden rings and colourful strings of material and silks also embroidered his beard and hair. He seems to be wearing all manners of jewellery and then a lot of kind of like a barkeeper's clothing. I shall present to you the character in intent.
You
As this man walks up to you. Go! Where is he? I
Yo,
put,
where you at?
I put his character somewhere around here.
Where are you?
What's his name? Is it Steven?
Yes, correct. How did you know that I would call a character Steven? I suppose that's a
Like
very
the
me,
universe?
a very me maneuver, huh?
It really is. Just like Donna.
Like the kebab?
Nah. Like the maid.
Donna was one of the most devoted workers in the Felleaf household. You leave Donna alone.
Oh man, Donna was respectable. Justice for Donna.
Justice for what happened to her. She retired and had a happy
sure,
family, don't worry about it.
Oh yeah.
Pretty sure Dorian would have given her a hefty promotion, to be honest.
That's all you need.
Where is this man?
Honestly, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It's you and me both, brother.
Something else broke.
It's, in my mind, I'm just imagining like Idris Elba. So unless you give me something better,
Sure, yeah, Idris Elba with dreads works really well.
yeah, like when he's playing as
Yeah.
as the guy from Thor.
You know what? That works incredibly well. Sure, play with that in your mind in the meantime. Maybe I should opt to change his voice instead of what I was going to go. Maybe I should go for Idris Elba's voice instead.
No. Gotta change it. We gotta make it unique.
No, of
Yeah.
course. Alright, well, whilst this is loading or forever finding this thing and not wanting to exist, this, like I said, this tall, dark-skinned fellow walks up to you and kind of, with a large tankard of ale in one hand. He's got these bands around kind of his upper biceps as well. And I don't want to call it a crown because it isn't, but a circlet that he wears across his head. You would know, Celwydd, with your knowledge of the Romans, that this is a staple of the lead figure of whatever Roma clan. Like, the leader of the Roma clan always has this circlet. It could be made of anything, realistically. It can be made out of bone, it can be made out of gold, silver. Some of them made it out of silks and ropes. But it tends to represent the leader figure of the settlement. And he wanders up, and he lets out all that. I can see you're admiring my beast. I haven't seen you folk around here.
No, we just arrived. It's magnificent.
Yes.
Goes up to this large creature and taps it kind of on this ginormous thigh. Lassie is a good one, that's for sure. Well, you know about them, the Pegasus? He looks at all of your faces.
That I do.
To an extent.
You can
Not
see him
what I
smile.
thought they would look like.
Maybe more along the lines of a horse, white, stallion-like maybe.
There he is. Oh,
Yep.
damn.
Well, yeah, most adventurers tend to have a little bit of a surprise. These are the real Pegasus. The ones that they come up with are fae stories. I think they're just more unicorns, really. Nothing like them. Extinct as well, pretty much.
Is this the last one?
One of.
So there's more.
Well, I'm sure that there are other Roma clans left. Maybe in Seaman or Lingard. But, they're a dying breed, although they do get to live for centuries, so...
Oh, there's hope yet then.
Say that again, sorry.
There's hope yet then.
Ah. He kind of looks and nods. No, yeah, I've always got hope. Plus, I can only imagine it would take one or two big armies to be able to take down at least one of these.
be awful.
I'm looking at him. I'm gauging him.
Sizing it up.
Luckily for us, they are not hostile creatures.
Sorry, I'm cracking up with the background noise. It sounds like they're like having a brawl.
Yeah, it sounds like they're having a
Probably,
tiff.
and probably so.
Fair enough.
odd.
I kind of want to get in on the brawling.
Oh god, imagine.
God,
Do you
if you
name
if
them?
you join, they die.
And we have 2 killers in the party already. What's a third?
True.
Make it even.
Yeah, we need an even half, almost.
No, we will eventually. Don't worry.
So, come from somewhere else, I'm assuming. What can I help you with? This is my group of roamers. The name's wait a second. What the fuck is his name?
Oh,
What is my name? I've forgotten.
Yeah, I've got him wrote down as Idris Elba, like brackets. His real name being, and I'm waiting. Like, waiting
Amazing.
for-
All record of this man has just been wiped from Brandon's fucking memory.
Literally, bro.
Yeah.
Orton,
Get
his
the
name
notes.
is Orton.
O-R-T-T.
Wait, his name's Otter.
Orton. Orton.
Wait, Randy? But is that him?
aw.
He's gonna slither around and nowhere, random.
I will do what I must.
Oh, gee.
Celwydd will extend her hand, and I'm Celwydd, and this is the rest of the merry band. And I'll gesture to everyone so they can introduce themselves.
It's an honor
I'm
to meet
Eldrith.
you all.
Likewise.
Hand just comes down. Hjarlgron.
You're a bit far south, aren't you?
But
You must really like these folk to be so far from your home.
well, I'm not here for them. I'm on the quest of looking for something, but these people seem to be troubling.
He swirls this golden light liquid that he has in this tankard and takes a swig. Looking for something, you say?
But
You know, us roamers are pretty well known for information. Why don't you all come inside? You might find something you like.
just nods and then goes inside.
First, may I? And she gestures like she wants to pet the big creature.
Please. He kind of lets out his hand. Don't let me stop you. Lassie is always happy to be petted and taken care of.
Please, someone inside.
What did you say
said
the name
Lass is
was?
like,
Lassie.
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 That's so cute.
Gosh, yes.
Just pet the. Well, probably can't
Pet
even
Lassie.
bloody feel it at this point, but.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can see
Joy
it's
will
like
also happily waddle over and give pats.
yeah, its large kind of chunky head kind of lifts, like brings itself down. You can see this kind of mossy, bearded part of its lower jaw kind of just sprawls out onto the ground. The jaw hits the ground. You feel a bit of a thud as his jaw hits the ground. These two ginormous amber yellow kind of slitted eyes just from the left side of its skull kind of open and look at you. And then they close as you kind of put your hand onto his, kind of where like his nose would be, like the nose ridge, and you can kind of pat across there. It feels tough. It's like touching like the ground that you're very much on. It feels like touching that.
Oh, nice. I'll just kind of give like a scratch with my nails.
Alright. So he kind of walks into the actual tavern itself, and as you walk in, again you see more, just dozens upon dozens of patrons of all races, appearances, looks, and shapes and sizes. that come from probably everywhere across the entirety of Equin. As he kind of points around, you can see tables of different wood styles and decorations and maps from across the world. You can see continental maps from every continent, in fact, obviously except for the Frost. And all sorts of like memorabilia and decor, tabards and flags that have been tattered or well kept from every nation and civilization. And he kind of walks over to one of the larger tables and kind of points at you all. Please, make yourselves at home.
Thank you.
Is there any food I can get you? We've got wyvern tail. We can give you a full boar if you want. Owlbear leg.
Did you say wyvern tail?
He did.
How did you manage to get a wyvern's tail?
He kind of taps over his head. We might
Did
just...
Wyvern tell?
We're roamers. Doesn't mean we can't fight. We've got generations of fighting in us. Not only that, we also have every style ever known across any continent in the world. I can shoot as well as I can fight with a blade, as well as I can spear, as well as I can throw a javelin. We're all masters of art.
You have, casters amongst you?
And even among all of us, even through our blood, some of us even have the ability to cast magic.
He's gonna excitedly just show him the befuddling map that he has on him. And could you tell me what this is? I can't make heads or tail of this thing.
I assume you're giving him the star map, no?
Yep.
He looks at it. Well, we have seen them. These are star maps.
Well, that much is obvious, but if you try to follow it, it leads you nowhere.
He smiles. That's because you're trying to follow it like you would follow a map. Are there roads in the sky?
Maybe. I think.
Seems like a Nathan question.
You're trying to follow a path that hasn't been made yet, pal. You're looking for
So
a
you-
clear road on a place that doesn't have a road to get to.
So I have to map it out myself?
You're traversing lands that possibly no one has seen. Luckily for you, and he kind of brings his arm around your shoulder and kind of like brings you in. Only a couple days away, you have the Star Temple. He ruffles your hair. I can imagine you can find something there, kid.
What is this Star Temple? You're gonna fix his hair?
Kind of scruffs his beard and fixes it and kind of like straightens it out, combs it a bit. It's a place where people have spent probably centuries studying stars and their movements. Each one of those constellations that Tempior creates. Oh, sorry, the Star Weaver. I forget the times.
Oh, he's aged himself, isn't he?
Who knows?
Well, it's worth a visit, if my friends don't mind.
I would definitely recommend it.
Do you guys mind?
Not at all. I'm just here for the ride, honestly.
That's the best way to be. And, big guy, you said you wanted a wyvern tail?
That I do.
No worries. For the rest of you, what? A stew? A hog's roast? Unless
I
you all
wouldn't
just want some rabbit food. We can bring some good salads together as well.
I'll try my hand at a wyvern's tail. Sounds interesting.
Normally, and he looks at Hjarlgron, normally they feed about 6, but I guess I'll bring you 2.
Hjarlgron eats for
worry.
5.
Don't
He
worry,
probably does.
I'll devour both tails if need be.
Ambrose is. I'll just have like. Do you have like a small piece of bread? I'm quite full already.
Bread?
Maybe a nice wine.
Oh. He kind of, when you asked for bread, he was like, wait. And then he asked for wine, he was like, oh, that we can do. Are you more of a Lingard pre-sundering wine, or more of the most recent Kelmont's old-fashioned wines?
That's those.
I do like the pre-sundering stuff. It's, a bit aged. Good flavor.
He kind of winks. Good choice. Alright, I'll bring everything you need. And once I come back, he looks at Hjarlgron. Why don't you tell me that thing that you're looking for? Maybe I can help you out. And
I'll do
feel
it.
free to walk around whilst I'm busy. People to talk to. And I'm sure you can exchange plenty of information around here.
Is there any fighting in here? Any tavern brawling?
Oh, fuck. We just got here.
No, I'm just wondering if there's already brawling.
At the moment, there's no brawling. There's a couple of people kind of like slapping each other on top of the back of the head, but no full-on brawling yet.
They're getting into it.
Don't worry, as soon as there is, you're just gonna see a fucking 10-foot Goliath jump, actual jump into it.
All right.
As he's walking away, Ambrose is going to lean to Celwydd, who's probably the closest person, and just, I know what I'd like a nibble of.
Yo, Mike is out here just wanting a piece of house. I love him.
What do you mean?
What do you mean, what do I mean? Look at that map.
Oh, well, I didn't think you leaned that way, Ambrose.
Oh, like a compass. I spin around and around, and wherever it stops, depends on the day.
Like a compass. That's fucking brilliant.
Fucking Jack Sparrow's.
How would you describe your sexuality? Like a compass.
I love it.
What a shit compass.
Oh, well, keep your options open. Have an exciting life. Yeah, I agree with you. He is handsome.
Though don't get me wrong, I'm incredibly picky, but,
Just look at Ambrose as he says picky. Good insight, though.
Sure. Go
You
for it.
thinking the slut?
Yeah. Seems like a bit of a slum.
Is Ambrose picky with his men?
Oh, Ambrose.
No.
I'll go down. I'll get next to him again. Remember, it's not good to lie.
It still looks at Hjarlgron. You're just jealous.
Of what?
That I would climb him like a tree and not you.
I'm alright with that. I'm not into men. And I'll look at you. Or whatever you classify as.
Oh.
Crosses his arms. What the fuck?
Now, boys, play nice. You must be hungry.
A little.
Probably emphasized
Oh.
by the wonderful odors of the kitchen from all sorts of cuisines that are like filling the room.
Yeah.
I don't know what your problem is, big guy, but we seem to be getting off on the wrong foot here.
Let's just look at him.
Like a brick wall.
I have no problems.
Do
And
not
if I
confuse my
do?
jokes or lies. I am nothing but honest, and I
I
try
look
my
at him
best to
as he
make
says
everyone
honest.
smile.
I squint.
I think it's just that one of you is blunt and one of you is smooth.
One is blunt and one lies. Regardless.
I'm gonna put my head in my hands.
It's
There's
hopeless.
nothing wrong with it. But
There's a stark difference between jokes and lies. I have not lied to any of you about anything so far.
well, you said you're picking. As we've entered this room, I've noticed you look at practically every man in here.
It was a clear joke.
Oh my god.
And do not exclude the fine women of this tavern.
I look around. Do I see any fine women?
Yeah, there would be. Yeah, it's all
Okay.
races and sizes and
Are
shapes
they
and
are they to
people.
Hjarlgron standard?
None of them are 11-foot tall mummy Goliaths. No.
Yeah, Hjarlgron just looks down.
They all seem rather weak and fragile to you.
Yeah, no. I just look at him. Again. Not picky.
Not pick it at all.
But speaking of, as you do look around, roll me perception.
Yeah, I got you.
Oh, crap.
That fucking bird appears.
Hey.
That
No.
bird appears, I'm jumping
It
at it.
ain't.
It's in
It
the
ain't,
I'll
fucking
throw
window.
Ambrose. In fact, I'll throw Ambrose if I see that bird.
it ain't no bird. But walking around and asking different tables are a group of 3 individuals. One of them is wearing dark leathers with a dark cloak. The hood isn't up, so you can see his face, and he's got this kind of like long, messy black hair that's not specifically in any sort of style, with a kind of unkept beard as well. He's got a couple of cuts over his face, and he's walking around with 2 people. The 2 people are wearing actual soldier-like armor with a tabard that has a insignia of this kind of white wolf in snow, and they are both of them are kind of silver-haired dark elves, and they seem to be following around, and he's going around and asking tables, and you can just overhear them because they're not being quiet about it, and they're going around and saying, let me just get this up. And have you seen that girl from the Mabdragon family? Come on, we're looking for her. She's been missing for a while. Owen? Anyone? She must be somewhere around here. See people saying, what? Who? What family are you talking about, mate? What? I've never heard that family's name in my life. And they're kind of like running around and walking around as they keep... pushes the shoulder of a guy. He doesn't seem to be looking for trouble, but he's here with a purpose, and he's scouting around. And he's asking people. He's going up to tables and pulling hoods down, looking at the girl specifically, and walking around. And he seems a bit pissed.
The way he's going around, like,
Who's
interrogating these people.
Central man?
Central man is seems to be a human of average height, like 5'11" or so, maybe just shorter than that. He's got black leathers. If he does have weapons, they are covered or cloaked by his cloak that he wears. The hood isn't up, so you can see this kind of long, messy, not really kept in any style sort of hair. He doesn't really care about his appearance. He's got this shabby beard and some cuts over his face, and he's just going around and he's just trying to ask about this this woman that's missing.
He's just some shabby mercenary type.
Yeah.
The way he's asking, does it seem like... How do I...
Do I overhear this conversation, or is it just Hjarlgron who heard this?
What's your passive perception?
I think it's... no, it's lower than
I'm pretty sure it's
that.
pretty decent.
12.
12? I wouldn't say you hear what they're saying, but you could see the
The tabards?
the
or
soldiers with the
uniforms?
tabards, yes. And you do recognize those tabards.
Yes. I might just look around the room for a second. Are they coming this way?
It's quite a big place to cover. They're just randomly dotting about and just asking tables and shoving people. It won't be long until they reach this side of the room, surely.
Okay. Oh, Ambrose, I tug on his arm for a second to get his attention.
And he's like sort of sitting, scribbling in his notebook.
I have a question to ask you. It's about chords. Do you mind if we go outside just so that you can hear the strings over all this noise?
Start! And he snaps his book shut. I thought you'd never ask. I've been wanting to discuss music theory with a fellow-minded individual for so long. And he stands up like the chair. And he just like stands straight up.
Okay, I go outside and like, is there like on the image, is there like an area with a table or something like that?
Oh god, yeah, loads. This is like an open party. In essence, it's very much lined out like a festival. There's plenty of crowds to meld amongst, and barrels and tables.
Okay, without making like too much of a point of it, I'll just kind of like, yeah, just like link arms with him and go out the door and go over to like a quiet corner outside with him.
Yeah, no problem.
Looks down at the linked arms, a bit confused. I thought we were just discussing music theory. Is there something the matter?
Oh, I just wanted to make sure you kept up with me, and I'll put my harp sort of on a bench next to me and start tuning it. I actually just wanted to get out of the room for a minute, and I just sort of, I'm very flustered.
Oh, I see, yes. A bit busy in there, bit out for your liking, is it?
Yes, and then I will cast Minor Illusion on myself. Is that how that works?
You can. There's disguise self, minor illusion.
Oh yes, disguise self. That's right. That's
Yeah.
the one I meant.
You can
Sorry.
cast that.
Yeah.
What do you make yourself look like?
I will dumb down my clothing a lot, so it just looks like, I don't know, like a plain brown and cream dress, like a waitress
no
in
worries.
a tavern might wear. And make my hair look a bit shorter, no decorations or anything like that.
Changing your facial features or skin color or anything along those lines?
I will change. I'll make it look like I've got 2 teeth missing from the side of my mouth.
Okay. Very well.
I'll pat myself down, look at myself.
Ambrose is like frozen, or like half tuning a violin string, and just. I'm sorry, what?
Oh, I just didn't want to draw any attention, you know? There were some guys in there looking at my jewelry, and I felt a bit threatened.
No, where were they? I will go talk to them immediately. And he has his violin down.
No, I grab his sleeve. Don't make a scene about it. It's fine. I just
Don't make us.
I've been almost mugged before. You know, I'm just sick of it.
You're telling me that you think someone's going to try and steal your shit? Is that what you're saying?
Maybe. I mean, we just got here. We don't know what these people are like.
This is very true. If they come anywhere near you, just give me the word, and a quick. I'm quite good with a dagger in the heat of the moment.
Oh god.
Thank you. Anyway, I did want to ask, and I start plucking a few strings. Do you think if I wrote a little song about Woeful Wade the werewolf, would it class as glorifying murder?
He raises an eyebrow and then thinks for a second. Well, actually, I was also writing a little something about that event, and I was more along the lines of a dramatic reading, but
Oh,
I suppose it depends what light you're framing it in.
yes, I suppose if we make him sound bad and not cool, that would be respectful to the victims. Right.
Well, he was bad.
Yes, but some people like to make killers sound good for some reason. I wouldn't want to do that.
No, of course, that's what I mean. Like, he was a villain, and you write him as a villain, and you make him detested.
Yes, that sounds good. If you do the words, I'll do the melodies.
I don't think you could sing what I was writing.
Oh, well, maybe you could just make
Yes,
some music.
it-
that might
and-
fit what you write.
He sort of flicked through his book a little bit. Let me find it
What have
for
you
a
got?
second. Well, I was thinking something like a dark, sort of, dreary story. So it starts like, there I was, a fresh new upstart investigator entering the small, rainy town. That kind of thing.
Yes, like the.
This would be my big break. the case I needed to crack.
Oh
If
my
it
God,
didn't
he's a
crack me
nerd.
first.
He's a 40s investigator.
Yes, something that you would read by the fireplace on a rainy night.
Exactly.
Just
Exactly.
gonna make
as
a
the rain
noir
streaks-
novel.
As the rain streaks down the window pane like tears of the damned. You know, that sort of thing.
Yes, perfect.
And then she walked in, horns out to hear. And that's where I sort of got to, and I sort of got a bit distracted because, you know, we were having to deal with an actual murder case.
Yes, we'll have to recall all the events later.
Oh, God.
I don't know if you could somehow spin that into a song, to be honest. It just like, keeps glancing at these missing teeth, and he's like really struggling to hold a straight face.
What is it?
Nothing. You look you look great.
Oh, well, look. I'm just trying to make myself look. Oh, I hate to say it, common.
Damn.
He sort of takes
Jesus
his wine.
Christ.
I feel like a poor man.
I like the delivery. I hate to say it. Common. Delivery on point.
He looks up and down the very plain rows, the missing teeth. You've done an excellent job.
Thank you, dear. I just really didn't like the look of those men in there, and yeah, I've had some dodgy looks before. Yeah.
That's fine, that's fine. I know what it feels like sometimes to be the center of unwanted attention, you know.
Well, you can take all the attention off of me. That'll be perfect.
That is an excellent idea. If you like, I could look like a much more higher class and temptuous woman and distract them from you for a while.
That, and she pauses for a second, could be really funny. Do you do that? Often?
Oh, well, not often. Like, it's a funny trick, though. It really confuses people.
I'll say I never disguise myself as the opposite sex.
Sometimes you leave it right till the last moment. It really catches them off guard.
I'll keep that in mind. We can go back in if you like. Maybe your wine has arrived.
That is true. That is true. I mean, looking different, do you think you might not draw as much attention?
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, they might look at me funny because I have a harp, but
I'm sure. Like I say, I'll draw all the attention for you anyway. It's fine.
brilliant.
And we'll just finish tuning his violin, close his notebook, put it in his pack, and then head back inside with her, I guess.
Alright, no worries. In the meantime, Orton has returned with the food and the drinks, and he's currently speaking to the rest of the party as you guys rejoin him at the table. Orton looks to you guys. Oh, there you are. Thought you were already left. Here, your food and your bread and wine, sir.
Oh, thank you. And he just takes the wine, and this is a sort of very small piece of this bread.
Orton looks to the new common woman. Oh, you've already picked someone up. I told you you'd make friends around here quickly.
Look over to Ambrose.
I'll lean in to the center of the table and in a kind of hushed voice, it's still me.
Oh,
I'll look at this new edition. Squinting.
It's Celwydd, don't worry. She's just... she felt a bit uncomfortable.
comfortable? Who's making you
Why?
feel uncomfortable, dear? I'll take care of them. I'll get them rid of out of this place immediately.
Oh god.
No,
He lifts up his sleeves.
it's alright.
Oh god, here we go.
Ambrose stands up as well and rolls his fucking like red jacket sleeves up very, not like fucking ruggedly, like folds them very nicely one bit at a time.
No, sit down, sit down. You must understand, I've been a woman traveling on my own until I met my party, and sometimes when I get somewhere new, I just like to not draw attention to myself.
takes a
Squint.
breath. Alright. But if anyone makes you feel uncomfortable around here, let me know. Aroma's Rest is
Oh,
no
I'm sure
place
it's
for
fine.
anyone that makes anyone else feel uncomfortable. Now don't get me wrong. He smiles. We like a good brawl and a slap across the head every now and again, but uncomfortableness and uneasiness and hostility in that sense, that has no ground here.
Well, speaking of which, I'll point over to the person that's just like been going down, pulling people's hoods down, like, where's this person and all this.
Yeah. Oh,
That's a bit.
Those
Um,
three have been
Really,
doing
don't
such
you
a
think?
thing.
them. They keep coming back every other fortnight. I keep having to shoo them away. They come from the Winter's Court. They're from the Snow family. Know them?
What the fucking?
Top of my head, would I know them? Running?
No, they're a noble family in the Winter's Court. I don't think he would have given a fuck, to be honest.
Yeah, to be fair, anything, if it's anything noble.
Yeah,
definitely not.
literally, that's what I mean. I don't think he would have given a fuck. Even if you might have passed by or heard them on your way down from the north, I don't think he would have given an absolute fuck, so probably not now.
Where is that again? I opened them up.
Oh,
Ambrose very quickly. It's just this bit here. And he points to the Winter's Court area.
no, so you
Well,
see
I
this
am
this
Further
part
here,
here?
and then I'll like point past the map. I am from very deep within.
Oh, yeah. I doubt you passed by Wintershade on the way down. They're the family that basically owns the keep in Wintershade. Very rich. They've been coming looking for some sort of woman by the name of Owen. I don't know. I haven't heard of anyone with such name. She comes from the, once again, Mabdarogan family. That's another noble family in the Winter's Court.
But you have to write these names down for me. I'm gonna be
What was she?
my
kidnapped or
notes needs this
something?
shit.
Yes, no problem. I will... That's the family, and... That's the family name, and the girl they're looking for is that. But yeah.
So what do they say? Have they been kidnapped? She been kidnapped or held for ransom?
He puts his like arms behind his head and leans back on a chair and kind of like, much like a high schooler would, kind of like with his leg, kind of leans himself back and forward. I think it's more along the lines of she ran away from some arrangement or something. I'm not too sure on the fine details, and you have to pick away about what's shit and what isn't, you know? But something about running away from some sort of arrangement with the Snow family.
Oh, trouble in Richtown, I guess.
Seems like it. Not surprised, though. I mean, don't get me wrong. The Snows have been a wealth procurer, and they invest in a lot of big companies and a lot of big businesses, so they have their hands, no, what's the saying again here in Kelmont? Fingers in a lot of pies.
Why
So,
would you put fingers in pies? That's
I think it's supposed to mean that they have, like, their business with a lot of people. I think. I don't know, I've heard too many sayings.
I think you're correct.
Yeah.
Snakes in a barrel,
is weird.
and see 'em in. Lingard, they say, pouring all your coins into one pouch.
What the snakes in a barrel?
I don't know. But yeah. Clearly, the Snow family wants the arrangement sorted. As far as I'm aware, the man in the black hood's called Duke, and he's some sort of bounty hunter or something. You know, people pay him to find people.
Why don't you just kick these guys out and tell them, she's not here?
We have, but much like anyone else, Roma's Rest is the first place people come to when they want to discover something or find something. And sadly, I'm not on any grounds to kick them out. They don't hurt anyone. Don't get me wrong, I shoo them out once they get a bit angry, but until then, they fit amongst the rules.
No, fair enough. I hope they find what they're looking for. I put my head down and pick at a piece of bread.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they're thinking they're looking for some sort of noble girl around here. If she left Winter's Court by herself, she wouldn't have made it this far south. As far as I'm aware, they say that she was just a young girl with no experience. As far as I'm aware, she might have died on Etin's Pass. Bless her
Maybe
soul.
she ran off with a lover or something.
Could be. Oh, you know what? I never thought about that. Maybe there is some more involvement. Either way, both the Snow family and the Mabdarogan family are looking for her.
You know, there's lots of stories about that kind of thing. People running off with forbidden lovers and avoiding family issues and things like that. It makes for quite an interesting read if you're into that sort of thing.
Tale as old as time.
I imagine it is. Now, big guy, you said that you were looking for something. Please, enlighten me. Maybe I can help.
Well, kind of shifts aside the strap that's on his chest. Well, as you can see, and you'll see 3 just absolutely monstrous-sized slashes from shoulder all the way down, going past this loincloth. And a bit of an accident.
Say that again, that's a nasty gash.
Well, the thing came out also not as good. Tap on the giant arm on my back.
So you got your own back then?
And I did. Fortunately, I think I died. And since then, something's been missing.
So you're looking for something that's missing. But you're not entirely sure what.
Not a clue.
It's a weird one.
And then, upon returning, a strange dream.
Strange dream, you say? Now that maybe I can help with.
Give me a second. Can to my notes, so I can give you these. Well, no, you know it, Brandon. But I need to say. Open. No, that's save. No, I don't want to save an. Oh God, everything's going wrong. Oh jeez.
Oh no!
What
Oh,
is
fuck.
blood doing?
What is blood
blood
waffling
doing?
about? What the? Where the fuck's my backstory gone? Oh Jesus Christ!
Oh, has it been deleted?
No, it's not been deleted. It's just hidden in
Thank
thousands of
God.
folders I've got.
Okay, fair.
While he's looking for that, just these guys that are going around and like talking to people, I'm gonna like just keep my eyes on them.
Yeah, no problem. Okay, they're not exactly not trying to be seen. They are just going around talking to people. I'll let you know when they get closer.
Yep.
Damn it, Reece, son of a bitch. I can't find it. We'll find it later on.
What do you remember of the dream?
A voice telling me I'd find what I'd seek. South. As to what that is, I don't know. But I have been searching. So far.
Did it tell you where
Absolutely.
or when?
Well, the funny thing with dreams and prophecies, they're never accurate. Never specific.
Well, that's true. So a dream told you to head south. And you end up here.
Well, I ended up in Crest. Well, we passed through a few areas first. Our most recent spot, Crestfall.
Is that where
No,
it told
here.
you to head?
No names. Just south.
Makes it a bit harder to mess with.
Indeed.
Well, these things have a way of coming around and finding themselves. If you ended up here, maybe it's for something. Dream telling you to go south normally means that you should probably follow it. Maybe you just gotta give it time.
We've been on this road for a year now.
That. turns around. Well,
Hopefully.
as far as I'm aware, he looks at all of you. If there's anything else involved, if it helps. The only things that I've heard around here recently is there's some sort of a bunch of people talking about some sort of beast wandering the northeastern outskirts of the Lost Lands. Some sort of owlbear or something. So they say that if
There it is.
some people say that they've camped out far enough that if you listen closely at night, you can hear the sound of the land dying.
Oh, joy.
That is why we are on this way.
Yes, we heard about the owlbear.
Take out the bounty that I've took off the board.
And maybe you've heard of the song. He whistles. Hey, Lauren. You see this bard that's currently just playing a couple of strings, and he comes up. He wears these kind of light orange and yellow flamboyant cloths and silks. He's got this long mane of almost pale gold hair that goes down his right hand side, but the full left side of his head is completely shaved. And he's got these kind of bewildering jade-like eyes, and it comes up and says, "What is it, Orton? What can I help with? Why don't you, that song that you heard about, that beast that's been going around, why don't you give them the idea of it? These guys are looking for it. Maybe the song might help with a bit of an idea. Plus, I love the tune." Very well. Hopefully it brings you some sort of help. He adjusts his instrument. And do not be alarmed, but I will roll initiative for a change of song. And if you don't have sound on, I recommend that you do, because this is very exciting.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I'm running.
Cool,
What is
cool,
happening?
cool.
And turn your ambience down.
Turn my ambience down.
And the music up.
The story begins at the festival where stars are all symmetrical, but a monster is its mimicked face, and anger it does bring. Its nature is to steal the sun and wish the night time not to come. Oh, the wicked beast would fire its beam and burn the skin of those who'd seen. Some brave adventurers would cross its path and hold their swords aloft, and once defeated they would find the monster rose a final time, defiant till its end. Our travelers overcame the night and brought the sunlight back to life. Our friends, we owe our world to you. Your heroes through and through.
God damn.
Oh damn.
That's sick. Oh my god.
I just clap for him after that performance.
And Ambrose was like watching it, and he was like, you can see him like listening to the notes and the rhythm of it, and almost trying to make a mental note.
I take out 3 coins and I give it to him, which is 3 gold for me.
Thank you. I appreciate the gift. But be careful.
Give a nod.
The song's words come from stories, not just made up. So if you do wish to hunt it, please be aware. It is no ordinary creature, one that seems to want to eat the sun itself, bring it around and end a never-ending night. A weird one. Will that be all, Orton? That's all, thank you. You can go back to whatever it is that you were doing. Gives a nod and walks away.
Damn, I wish I could sing like that.
Oh, I'm sure you
Telling
can.
me you can't.
Well, I'm not the best. I usually go for the dramatic performances, big readings, and the violin, and a few other instruments, you know.
Well,
In fairness, I don't normally sing.
we all have our strong suits. Oh, also, whilst you're making your way around, there's a guy by the name of Silma. He's looking for some people. He's that elf, and he kind of points at this person outside of the building, posted up on a wall outside, and he's speaking to a couple of people, laughing, and he's enjoying himself. But he just points towards him. Silma needs some help with something as well, so he's a good friend of mine. You know, if you guys are more than capable, please help him out. But I don't want to overburden your trek.
Well, I don't know what we were actually going for, if we had any set goal or just a few little scattered ones, so.
We have nothing set in stone other than this hunt.
No, we're sort of going with the flow, aren't we?
I suppose.
Pretty much.
Well, if anything, after the past revelation about Brightwelk, I do want to visit home for a bit. Should become that way anyway.
Let's go see where he might need us. And I'll stand up, and I'll go over to the man he pointed at.
Right.
And then we'll turn around and grab the wyvern tail, and then go to him. Like a snake, he'll seem like just dangle it into his mouth.
I'm just gonna keep my eyes on these dudes again now.
I'll go speak to the man we were told to converse with.
Very well. Okay, so heading over to Silma. I shall show you who Silma is. He's a beautiful boy of mine. He's a beautiful boy.
Oh wow, yeah.
Ooh, interesting.
Silma, as you
spell
walk
the
over.
name?
Yes, sorry. His name's Silma Lightwind.
Ooh.
Silma, as you walk up to him, seems to be some sort of a high elf. From what you can see is these kind of light blue, silver, and the kind of crest of this frozen tree, which is from the Winter's Court. Silma is tall and a lean elven figure with braided brown and golden hair that reaches to his lower back. He wears a very youthful smile, and you can even see kind of crow's feet at his eyes where he smiled and it's formed wrinkles at the end of them. He has a very open and applausive body language. His facial features are sharp and pointed, but also, which you sadly can't see in the image, also are covered in a tattoo of some kind that covers both of his eyes that links up at his neck. The way that it works is it forms two lines that run parallel from his forehead over his eyes down to his neck, and they meet at his Adam's apple. His eyes are an autumn brown, and at this time you can see a slight hint of light blue beginning to form in the bottom right. He wears light leather armors that are elven decorated with small furs for warmth, and at his side is a thin but long blade, not an ordinary weapon to see. It is an elven take on the normally known as an Iroh leaf blade. They're essentially katanas, really long katanas.
Oh my god, you've given him the washing pole?
Yes, essentially he has a washing pole. These are called Iroh's leaf blades, and they're essentially katanas.
I like him.
And he has one. He's not currently like holstering or anything. It's just on the the same post that he's next to. It's just leaned up against him. It's about the same height that he is. And he's speaking to a couple of people. And again, as I mentioned, he's laughing and he seems very like joyful.
Hjarlgron's polite. He will wait for the conversation to finish.
Very well. Has anyone else gone with him, or the rest of you staying indoors?
He's still sitting at the table, I think.
Okay.
So what's happening?
So we arrived
just
at a
come here
place
for a
called.
break?
We've arrived at Roma's Rest, which is a little bit of a break. It's a known place of. Damn, I just now starting to realize how much like lore dump I've done. Roamers are basically a culture of people that roam the entire world and gather culture from everywhere in the world, and they never like root down. You guys have come across this Roma's Rest, which is one of the settlements clearly. And you met the leader of this Roma's clan by the name of Orton, and he's welcomed you all in, and he's kind of shared some rumors and stories. You also sadly missed, I'll have to play it for you again at the end, a bardic song about the creature that you guys are trying to hunt that gives some hints.
Okay.
Is there a way to like put that file in Discord so we can listen to it again?
Yes, of course, yeah, of course I can.
Put it in Discord.
And you've picked up a couple of rumors. There's some people looking for a girl named Owen. And some other rumors were exchanged. But generally just kind of conversing and chilling here and like figuring information out where you want to go next. And the best place to do, obviously, the roamers know a lot from a lot of places and have a lot of connections, so they're helping out. So now Hjarlgron's gone to Silmar, this high elven figure that I've placed, who Orton said needs some help with something from someone.
Okay.
So yeah, that's kind of where we're at the moment.
Cool. Well, we're here to relax for now.
Essentially.
So I guess I'll
Ooh, tell them about
kick
the
my
thing.
feet up.
The big thing.
What thing?
Lassie.
Oh,
Huh?
yeah, Romers, the cult of Roma, clan of Romers.
Cult?
They're not,
Cult?
they're not a cult.
He said
He
it.
said it.
The clan of Romers. Each clan is given a very unique mythical creature that are called Pegasus, but they're not Pegasus like you imagine as a horse with white wings. No, this creature is giant in size, pretty much almost the same size as the settlement itself. It's got this kind of like shape of this bulky, almost like a rhino. It's got 6 legs, 4 eyes. It has this kind of long, elongated, kind of muzzled-like face with this long, mossy, barbery beard. Its skin, or at least from what you can see, it's completely covered in like stone and clay and mud. Colossal in size, and rumors have it, after some nature checks, that these are always given to Roma's clans, and supposedly these creatures are incredibly strong beasts of burden that are capable of carrying settlements with them from one place to another. And some even say that they could swim across oceans without ever stopping, or some say that they can even grow wings to fly over continents if they so wish it, and others say that they can burrow deep into the Underdark to cross from one continent to the other. And this beast of burden is just gently resting in one of the pens here next to the Roma's Rest. There's a almost colossal sized creature, and it's just kind of like nestled up and curled up, having a little bit of a nap.
Okay.
Yeah, those are a lot of world building lore dumps.
Speaking of lore dumps, what was happening with me earlier? Like 10 minutes ago.
Nothing's happened yet. I was holding it off until you did arrive.
Okay. Cool. But yeah,
But we'll get into
I will
it.
kick my feet up.
Yeah, cool. Okay, so eventually, Silmar finishes his conversation and kind of looks over to you. Doesn't say anything, because he obviously doesn't know if you're going to speak to him or not. He just kind of looks over you happily.
I've seen no one talking to him now. Go over and head towards him.
He looks at you expectingly.
So am I, presume.
That's me. What can I help you with?
Orton's told us you're in need of assistance.
Oh, yeah, just a bit. Not so much me as a friend of mine. My client or friend Gibbs, he points at this guy that's not literally too far. You can see him one table over, and he's having a drink with a couple of other merchant-looking people. Gibbs seems to be an older man, halfling, probably in his late 80s. And he seems to be talking to other people much like him. I'm kind of a bodyguard of sorts for him, a helper. But you see, I've got to head down south to sort something else out. And at the moment, there's a lot of rumors of the... I don't know if you would have heard of them, but the Humming Wings Bandits. They're a group of people they're just a group of people that are stopping carts and mercantile roads, and you know what they're like. Take a wheel, take a purse. They're trying to stop other merchants. So he needs someone to help them escort them to Brimtier, at least half of the way there.
Pulls out the map. Is there a time frame he needs to be there by?
That's a good question. I don't think so. As far as I'm aware, he's gonna set off within the next 2 days. So anywhere between then and now, I guess. If he wanted to set off now, I'm sure he could, but I think he's got a waiting time if you need something to do something else first.
Well, it's more so we were thinking of heading, and then, like, looks at the map here before we carried on, and I point to Starborn.
Oh, heading over their way. Well, I can try and convince him to stay until he comes come back if you want to help.
Well, we will be heading in Primtier's direction. We are up to that owlbear sighted within that area.
Oh. Thinking yourselves of bringing it down, huh?
And we are.
I haven't hunted a creature in many years. Sometimes I miss it.
It's fun.
He kind of looks almost longingly. Yeah, I remember. It's a long time ago now.
You'll have your chance once again. Everyone does.
Well, we'll see where my life of bodyguarding takes me. At the moment, it's more keeping this guy safe from other people rather than creatures. I haven't had to unsheath my blade here in a long time.
Getting rusty.
Surely not. I take care of it every day. You see, Iroh leaf blades, they are part of who you are. You put your soul into your blade, so it reflects who you are.
I like, get a bit lower. More so talking about yourself.
Kind of pulls a kind of like, yeah, probably type of face, kind of like it's upset. Yeah. Probably so. But
It's always best to
like
stay
you
sharp.
You said, I'm sure I'll come around a time where I can fix it. Or at least maybe find another hunt or two. Maybe I'll head over to Crestfall, if Golmak has anything.
Well, there was something in Noonrin.
Oh? Well, I am heading that way. Maybe I could stop by since I'm going to be walking alone.
Something to do with burnings within the town.
He looks intrigued. Oh. Well, you know what? You might have just convinced me. Maybe we'll head down to Noonrin, make a stop, see if I can help out with this.
Very good. Hopefully it's nothing too much for you to handle. And I give a smile.
No, I don't think they quite match up to the fog demons of Iroh. At least I hope not.
Ooh.
Did he just say fog demons?
What did he just mean
Fog
by
demons?
Fog demons of Iroh?
I'm
What do you mean
guessing
by
it's the Mistbark's range. It's probably around there, right?
Yeah, you will now got Hjarlgron's attention. He like crouches, slap squats right in his face. Fog demons.
Creatures, they say, that spawn from the nightmares of men. In Ira, we have this rolling fog that keeps us safe, but at the same time, they also say that from the nightmares of men, they spawn demons that wear masks, red as blood. Hunt people down in the bamboo forests, hunt them down, persecute them. Maybe some just get taunted by seeings of their past. They're a dangerous creature. I've only ever taken down 2, and you can see he turns to the side and lifts this kind of like blue cloth tabard, and strapped to his belt you see these 2 cracked masks.
Ooh, kind of baller.
I've only ever come across 2, but both of them held up a good fight. I mean, almost died in one of them, but I came out. If you're ever that way, he smiles at you. Maybe you should take a hack at them.
Well, if they hold up to anything that the Lord of the North does, I might enjoy myself.
Yeah, I'm not sure what creatures you fight up in the frost. I can't imagine they might, anything that I know of.
Slaps the arm.
Oh,
A prize from the Lord of the North.
I see. No, the things that I fight are normally more nimble and small rather than tall and strong.
Oh. The strike from this was as fast as anything I've ever seen.
Sounds like a strong creature.
Like thunder almost.
I'll leave the hunting of something of that size to you then.
Well, back to our business.
Sure.
If you can convince him, I don't see why we couldn't take him.
Alright. He smiles and kind of does a clap. I'll let Gibbs know that you guys are more than interested to help out. Give you guys time to go to your Star Temple and return, and then you can escort him. I'm sure he can be patient to save his own life and merchandise.
Very well. Stands up, gives a nod. I'll let Autumn know.
Very well.
And I'll go back inside.
Okay.
I'll look to the rest. Just as I walk in, I'm gonna say this out loud. We have a job.
We do?
Just nods.
Well,
You are very
what
good
is
at
it?
networking.
Well, good to know people. And a good way of getting to know people is helping them.
I agree. But what is it?
Well, we're taking... And then he stops and then thinks. Very short man. Frontier. What are those short men called? About the size of
Gnomes?
that one, and I'll point to Doi.
Halflings?
That's
I
the
look
one.
over at everyone else. Ah,
We're escorting a wagon from here to Primtier. Protecting from homing wing bandits, they're called. Something like that.
oh, well. I haven't practiced my halfling in a while.
I've told them we will be heading to the Star Temple. I'll look to Eldrith. Right?
If there's time, I'd like to.
Our friend, I look back out. The pointy-eared one. Does anyone convince him? Give us time to go there and back.
So
Well,
we're in
that's
no rush then.
appreciated.
Well, would be rude to keep a man waiting.
But he's happy to
So-
sit a couple of days.
Mm. Personally, rest too long doesn't sit well with me.
Well, I mean, can't be that long of a trip, right?
From
Into
here
the
to-
Star Temple and back. I mean, we rest here tonight, we set off tomorrow, we make it back in a few days.
Suppose. Not as if you're all fine with it. Look around everyone.
With that?
More than fine.
Good. Seems
So-
we did 2 jobs, I suppose. Celebration is
So
in order.
we deliver him to Primtier and then go to the hunt, maybe.
What could even happen while we're delivering him?
I was gonna say.
But I'm worried about him dying.
Oh, I mean, if it comes
Oh,
to it,
yeah,
like,
but-
no, he said like we don't even have to take him all the way. We can take him halfway. And if it
Oh, yeah,
comes to
fair
it, we find
enough.
it.
Yeah,
We
I think
can chase
yeah.
him down.
I think the understanding is there's a point where the bandits are like mainly stopping them, so as long as you get him past that point, he's fine.
Yeah.
Wait, men.
Yeah,
Manly man.
classic.
Probably the
Highland.
goddamn bridge, isn't it? Probably the fucking bridge.
It's always
That's-
a bridge.
It's always the
It's
bridge,
I
bro.
know.
Bridge.
After a large hunt, there's usual celebration. We've done 2 jobs, and all we've done is walk. So, I looked at Orton, and that's 15 coins. Whatever that can get us.
Gosh. Well, whatever it can't get you, I suppose, is more the question. I'll bring the whole lot.
Good.
I'm gonna assume you guys are gonna be staying the night then.
Do you have rooms?
If we don't, we can always make them.
I'll rest with the beast outside.
Very well. There's no place more protecting than that. Alright, well, I guess I've got a tall order to cover. I'll be with you in a while. And he stands up and walks away. Gets you guys some cooking on the go.
And then I'll look to Ambrose. Like I said, I don't mind helping.
Oh no, helping people is great. Should be doing it
Oh.
more, I think.
Might need a bit of help with that one. And I'll look to Orton.
Hmm? What
Just
do you
give
mean?
a smile.
Oh, no. I don't think it's quite the time.
Squint.
He's currently like hyper fixated on watching these sort of men like who are going around and asking people if they've seen someone.
I'm gonna follow his gaze.
A little bit dodgy, don't you think?
Well,
Who were looking at?
from how they were acting
Yes.
earlier. Definitely.
Can I? They're looking. They're walking. Have they walked to us before?
They're probably on their way to you now.
They haven't been to our table yet.
Can I try and listen to what they're saying or what they're asking?
They've
Yeah, so they were here earlier, but obviously when I'll remind. So they're asking for
Okay.
saying they're going around and they're asking people, have they seen a girl by the name of Awen, Awen, and also saying, have you seen this girl? She belongs to the and I put the family name further up as well in case you need both. The Mab de Rogan family, saying that they're looking for this girl.
Mabdurugan.
And
Okay, cool.
And
I
everyone's
see
just
the-
like
I see
pissing
the
him off.
text.
Everyone's just like, ah, fuck off. What the fuck you on about, bro? They seem-
Delusional.
Seem to be from. They seem to be from the Winterscourt, sent by the Snow family, which are the owners of the Wintershade keep, which is in the city of Wintershade. But yeah, they're just looking for this girl.
Okay, cool.
But eventually, they will indeed come around to you, and as they do, kind of like walk up to you guys. Duke, the main guy, walks up. Have you seen anyone that looks like this? We're looking for this
Look at him.
girl called Edawn.
Does he have
Have you got a picture?
is he showing like an image or anything?
Well, they don't have a picture with them, no.
I'm gonna like keeping my like little dark sunglasses, spectacles over my eyes. I'm gonna like out of the corner of my eye watch Celwydd's body language.
They're just assuming that you would know who she is because she comes from a noble family.
I don't know exactly who you're talking about.
Just
Not
blink
giving
at them
us
innocently.
a description.
Oh, she did. I don't know. She was a lass, like. Yay high, and she's got like blondish brown hair. I think she had. I don't know. Just,
You know, someone who's searching for someone so aggressively for so long, you'd think would have a better description, wouldn't you? And I'd like kind of lower down to him.
yeah, you would think, but I don't.
I'm very good
Maybe
at your
they
job,
are
are you?
hunting her.
That's exactly what we're doing.
I don't think they're being paid enough.
Well,
Is she wanted?
missing. Family wants her
For how
back.
long?
Month, probably at this point. Maybe a bit over.
Where's she from?
If you're looking for,
She's from Winter's Court, Wintershade. She's got a proposal of some kind to return to. She's skipped out, taking her back to her family in the Snow family.
Well, can't say we've seen anyone matching that description, whatever half-assed it was.
Or nothing.
I fear that if you're looking for a woman of average height with blondish brownish hair, then you might be struggling to find the specific one you're after.
Kind of dime a dozen, if you ask me.
I was gonna say, like, looks around and just points out people matching that exact description.
Probably loads of women with brownish,
Yeah.
blondish hair.
Well, I don't know. She's
Could be
like
anybody.
fucking noble as well, so she's probably wearing some fancy dress or something. I don't know.
I'll look around. Is there anyone matching that exact description?
Not in this room. Though.
Ambrose sitting
Just
there, average
happening.
height, wearing fancy dress with blonde hair.
Blonde hair.
Looks down at himself and looks up at the
Wait.
guy again.
Wait, do you
you're not
reckon they're looking for the
me?
person?
I'll look at Ambrose.
I'm saying this
You
out of
noble?
character.
Hmm.
I'm saying this out of character, but do you reckon they're looking for that little girl who was in that painting that we found?
Something that you missed, which is also a dead giveaway, is when Celwydd heard of this, she decided to leave the room, and all of a sudden she's also disguised herself.
Yeah, she's
Oh
very
yeah,
strict.
I missed that.
used to say
Okay.
so.
Yeah, you would.
Um,
Yeah.
but Celwydd says because she gets nervous when she goes to new places because she does have jewelry and stuff, and she has been almost robbed several times before. So she didn't like the look of these men. But yeah, she looks like a tavern wench at the moment with two missing teeth.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I looked at Ambrose as he was like thinking, like, "Oh, are you sure you're not looking for me?" And I go, "Are you a noble?"
Well, you know, I can be.
I'm looking for a woman, not a man.
I can be that too.
I mean, to be fair, I look at Ambrose and I look back to them. Just looking for either.
They shake their head. Right, well, if you see her or hear of a girl called Edawn or whatever, let me know.
And will you be around
Sure.
here often?
Pretty much until we find her. She says that she was last spotted in Crestfall, so we went there, didn't find nothing, and now we're here.
Well, you better settle in for the long run then, because it sounds like you've got a very, very boring job.
Well, Snow's,
And you're bad at it.
Snow's pockets, Snow's pockets run deep, so I'm getting paid for that all really, so suits me well.
Are you sure the owlbear prowling around hasn't gotten them?
Might have. Who's to say? But for as long as this hunt keeps going, I'm getting paid, so.
I'll look to the other two figures next to him.
I seem to be more formal guards from Wintershade.
I'm guessing you two are getting paid all the same.
Not quite. We're here making sure that we can identify her.
Oh, then these two should surely know how she
Honestly.
looks like better then.
To help out with your situation, would have been best to have an image on hand. Or a magical user who can help with that.
Certainly not as common as you might believe.
What? A picture?
A painting.
magic.
The magic. The painting, on the other hand, sure. But who knows what she looks like at this point? She was she was always a crafty girl.
She's been gone a month. The general look should still be there.
They shrug.
I mean, you'd think it'd be smart, but clearly you're half-assing the search. You don't give a shit.
Yep. Pretty much.
Oh, they don't give a shit. Okay.
Then I
Very
suggest
good,
you
work ethic.
stop bothering the patron so much.
I'm guessing everyone here made you the boss of this place.
No,
Oh.
but making people uncomfortable is a bit annoying, especially when you're not even doing it for the right reasons.
Lord Snow wants her, so we're fighting her. End of discussion, really.
Not doing a good job at it, so
Well, you keep doing your job and I'll keep doing mine.
that I will. Now, carry on.
Thumbs up and walks away.
As I was talking to him, how were the guards? Like, what was their mood? And just
Pissed.
how were they looking?
They're pretty angry. Not at you, just at the whole scenario of not being able to find them. They probably want to go home. They don't really want to do this job because they don't really care about this girl, but they're being told to do so by the guy that basically owns them, so here they are.
Huh. Well, that was interesting.
Yeah. How bothersome.
I'm gonna do a job, don't half-ass it. Waste of everyone's time.
Like they said, they just want their pocket money.
Well, you know, I don't blame them for half-assing it if they're getting paid a whole shit ton to not do much at all.
I don't even understand this money. Useless.
More money is more things, put it that way. More meat.
Just
more
get more things. Without
Meat
money.
I can get any time. Ale, I don't care for. I have it, I don't, I don't.
Are they walking out of the building or are they still in the room?
They're currently moving away towards one of the far wings of their settlement, but it looks like they're just finishing up and then might just fuck off.
Oh, okay. My eyes are just gonna follow them across the room.
Very well.
Well, I mean, more to it, right? Must be hard being so far away from home.
I can say that again.
And he sort of puts a hand
Why?
on where he perceives Celwydd's shoulder to be.
Why would it be difficult for her, but not you guys? You guys are not home.
Well, depends how you feel about home.
That's a good point. We've never really talked about it. Where is everyone's home?
Opens the map again. Well, the map stops
It's
here.
not on the map.
And I'm about, and you'll see his finger go across the table. It just doesn't stop. I'm from very deep in the north.
And Pierce? You said you weren't
Well-
even from here, right?
Yep. 4 months ago, I was happy in Visalia.
Sorry to hear that.
Yep.
Why? What's wrong with Visalia?
Oh, it's fucked.
So, I have not caught up with recent events. Visalia has
north.
been.
I don't hear anything from down here or elsewhere.
Well, the continent of Visalia got overtaken by this black miasma, whatever it is. People calling it the Hollow, whatever that is.
Did you have family there?
I did. Hopefully they made it out.
Oh, I'm sorry, Pierce.
No worries. He looks dejected.
Syldia, what about yourself?
Spoons, it's your
Oh,
turn.
I've been muted this whole time.
Yeah, we haven't heard a word from you in 2 hours, buddy.
El Clasico.
Long while.
We didn't miss anything, did we? Important?
Nah, I didn't make
Okay.
any big inputs.
All right. Now's your time.
I'm up from up near Ira.
We could scour the map real quick.
Oh. Have you heard of
It's like
the
fucking Where's
Misdeeds?
Waldo?
Yeah,
Top left.
top left.
Iro.
Oh, in the pink trees. Yes.
Oh, lovely.
Oh, yeah.
So you would have recognized his sword straight away, right?
If she saw
Like
it,
the
then
Ira
yeah,
that
definitely.
leaf.
Very secluded area.
It is.
But I haven't visited there in quite a while.
Do you know of those mist demons?
Well, I'm assuming I would know they exist, but
Yeah, you would know of them, of the fog demons, yeah. That they born from the nightmares of men, yeah.
I'm familiar, but haven't encountered one before.
I'm curious.
A lot of family back there, or?
None. My parents died a while back.
Suppose a good decision to set out into the world and see what's there.
I've been out and about for a very long time.
Oh well. It's a familiar feeling. Let's see. Sort of goes through, looks at everyone a little bit. Doy, do you even know where you're from?
I am from, and he goes to point and looks up. Oh, I don't know.
Oh, you don't know?
That is bothersome.
What is your earliest memory, Doy?
That is data incomplete.
Aw,
Oh my god.
I pat him on the head. That's all right.
Defragment.
And our little starlight wizard over here, you said you'd been to the Brightwell Tower at some point. Is that where you're from?
Well, it's where I lived, with Brightwell. Up until a month ago. But supposedly, Brightwell's been dead for a decade. Which is hard to believe considering I buried him a month ago.
I'm very sorry for your loss.
Oh, don't be. I'm sure he's still here. If someone says he's been dead for a decade, whatever I buried wasn't him.
Or he just keeps coming back.
Possibly.
yourself,
This
Compass.
is- Hmm?
Well, where are you from?
Oh, well. He sort of looks at the map and his eyes wander between two places.
And I'll get
Back and
close
forth.
to him. And remember, try not to lie this time.
He just looks up at him. I'm not going to lie. I won't tell a joke either, if that's what you prefer. And he sort
Good.
of just drops his finger on the Luminite forest.
Don't let me know I'm
Still looking Hjarlgron dead in the eyes after his eyes were drifting along the map.
I'm gonna insert it just to make sure.
Sure.
This. Oh, there it is. I see it.
As far as you're concerned,
The big
it's telling
line.
the truth.
Pretty straight faced.
Hmm. What?
I will also inside check. Yeah.
Of course, you're from Edawn, where the eagles are.
No! Stop!
Oh my god! Oh my god! it
He's an
makes more
e-boy.
sense. Exactly, he's an
He's
e-boy.
an e-boy.
Oh my god!
I hate it here, man. I don't even know why.
I fucking hate it here.
Oh, it's your fault for calling it Edawn.
Adorn.
Yeah, man.
I hate
Full of
that.
e-girls and e-boys.
I hate world building, bro.
Yeah.
First
it's
seaman,
rough,
now Edawn.
Why
Well,
do I even
like,
fucking
nice.
develop every angle of my world, man? It's ready to just be torn apart into
You-
pieces.
You
We would
just
never.
assume we're gonna respect it.
Honestly, disgusting, to be honest. Disgusting. man.
Imagine.
I guess for Syldia, Ambrose's eyes had drifted somewhere over to the east,
Interesting.
but they were darting between 2 points.
So he is a sussy liar. Hjarlgron will remember this.
Well, he won't because he doesn't know it.
No. He'll remember
Yeah.
that he said this was the truth. So if it comes out later, Hjarlgron
Oh.
will have his blue butterfly moment.
He's got the receipts.
He's kept
Yeah.
a mental note.
Mm.
Exactly.
And then Ambrose
Joy with
slowly
the
turns his
hair.
head to Celwydd, raises an eyebrow.
Well,
Where are you from?
Oh, me! And she kind of fidgets with her hands because she feels a bit on the spot now because everybody's looking at her. Oh, I'm just from a little farm, homestead. It's just outside of Felfarden Pass.
Little close to Wintershade, then.
Bullshit.
What?
that's true.
Where's his path?
It's directly left of Wintershade.
I see it.
Felfarden.
Yeah, thank you.
By the way, I said that in person, like in character.
I look to Ambrose. You're not suggesting what I think you are. Give a smile.
He sort of gives a glance to Celwydd and... Is there something you need to tell us?
Tell you? No?
No?
Insight check.
Ambrose is
Tell you, I don't even know
quietly with his
you.
voice,
Check.
very quietly with
Gang,
his
gang,
voice
gang,
down.
gang,
Ambrose
gang.
is going
Aw.
to. Ambrose is going to. So, leaving the
20.
room with those men wandering around is just a coincidence, and making yourself appear more, as you put it, common when they're looking for a noble girl.
So I've never been insight checked before. Do I just have to
You could
reveal
do-
an appropriate amount
you
of
could
what
do-
people have rolled?
You can do two things, or what I normally allow the table. You can either look at the rolls that are done and gauge what you think they might be able to decide from it, or you can do it because you want something to juxtapose it. You can roll a deception check or a persuasion check if you don't believe that you're deceiving. But obviously, you know.
But you know.
But you know.
And then obviously, if your deception check is lower than their inside check, then you might opt to express in words how they might notice your body language change. You don't have to tell them exactly what's happening. You can just say that maybe they notice that perhaps you could be lying slightly about one thing or the other, or maybe you're concealing something.
Yeah, so Celwydd seems very on the spot, but what she's saying is at least she's saying it with some confidence that perhaps this is a rehearsed response.
Like that. That was a good answer to it being insight checked.
Fun isn't important. I left after all.
You left?
Well, I'm here, aren't I?
In a hurry,
Usually
perhaps?
reasons to why you'd leave.
Ambrose reaches across very carefully, sort of places the map in front of her, reaches and softly takes her finger and puts it just on top of Wintershade.
She withdraws her hand and just looks at him like, really? I really wasn't expecting this today. Listen, I really like all of you, and I do trust all of you. So,
But
Sure.
you lie.
Listen,
I give him like a hurt look.
Damn, of all
after
the
that-
ones, it's
yeah.
Party's dog that would say this.
we are going
Unbelievable.
to.
Fucking Scooby.
If you need to talk about the situation, I'm gonna look over to them who's talking to the people. Let's not do it here.
Regardless, if you're in danger or you need help, you only need to ask.
Staying out of their sight would be best.
Very well.
As I said, if they were going to try and mug you, I would have run them through. So
The old shitty.
let's just say this counts as a level higher, I would say.
They were trying to mug her?
No. But if they were, I would help her.
That was my dishonest explanation.
Well, at least everything is now cleared.
I hope you can understand from the look of those three why I didn't mention anything.
Of course. Shady types, of course. And, I mean, who would want to go back to that kind of situation? Pain in the ass.
Well, we'll leave tomorrow anyway. Out of the hair.
This is true. It seems like we're getting to know each other quite well, and we're having such a wonderful adventure so far.
Indeed. Hjarlgron's going to go to the bar.
Well, you'll find Autumn.
Autumn, with the money I bought, well, gave you,
Yeah,
would a cask be suffice?
3 if you want.
Good. Goes over. Both hands will take a cask.
Yeah, okay. Yep, yeah, I'll do
Go
that.
over.
I'll just bring up the last
Puts one in the middle of the table for the rest. The other one he'll just rip the top off.
Man's opening this shit like it's a can of Pepsi. Really.
Yeah, 100%.
Cracking open a cold one.
Exactly. Well, let's leave the doom behind for tonight. And let's celebrate our two. Yeah, I'd say we got 2 solid victories.
Yeah, finish it off.
I suppose, to victory,
Slams
and
the
just
cask in his
raises
hand
what's
on the
left of his
desk.
wine glass.
He slams the cask on the table and just straight down the hatch, the entire cask.
Damn. Roll me a good old con save, homie.
Yeah, I got you, Chief.
He'll be fine.
Maybe not, man. Maybe the ale. Oh, the ale down here is too strong for him.
Oh god.
Strong
It's
shit.
probably more so the quantity, if anything.
Yeah.
The
liver cancer.
kind of a mix. The it's not exactly common to have, ale in the frost. They do have some sort of alcoholic beverage, but it is in a very different form and in a very different way. And it's not exactly common that you even drink that much ale. But under this circumstance, you do, and it is very, very potent stuff. And the drink does get to you very quickly. So you do.
Okay. I'm going to do one of two things. Hjarlgron is very in good spirits, and he's going to just throw the cask back and just start like stumbling around for a bit.
Yeah, easy enough. Sounds about right.
If the cask hits anyone, it hits someone. I'm
Probably a
intimidated.
common occurrence.
Yeah. Hopefully I hit someone. Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Honestly, Hjarlgron's in a potential brawling mood.
Oh no.
Here we go.
These fellows that are walking around, if they at any point leave the room, I would like to excuse myself.
Within the next hour of you guys just drinking and eating and enjoying yourselves, they would start leaving. You can see them getting their bags together and preparing to leave, and they'd walk out.
Well, thank God, because that's when my spell wears off.
And coincidentally, as they start to leave, Ambrose just, if you'll excuse me, and stands up and waves his hand, and I will cast Disguise Self.
Blood's gonna run them through.
I'm just gonna watch him confused, but I don't want to draw any attention to myself, so I'm just gonna leave it in his hands.
I am going to disguise myself as what seems to be just like a maid who would be cleaning up around like normal, very like low sort of clothes, like very common white and browns cloths and some like leather boots, sort of black hair and a ponytail, small face, little small features, small button nose. It just like straightens his non-existent apron. And just excuses himself, and I would like to just walking past, pick up a couple of maybe empty mugs from places, but walking towards where they are leaving and following them.
Easy enough. You can follow them out as they walk out.
Mm-hmm. And where do they appear to be heading?
They stop for a bit. They have a conversation. You can overhear them say, "Oh, again, that was fucking useless, wasn't it? Oh, I don't know where this girl's bloody ran off to. Maybe we can try Crestfall again. They did say that's where they spotted her, and we did just decide to fuck off after a day of searching there. We could sit down, ask around there. Maybe they...
Is this just the one dude talking and the other two are just listening?
Yeah, literally. He's having like a monologue with himself, essentially. So perhaps you can go down there.
I just clean a window from the outside.
The other two turn to him. Yes, I suppose that perhaps is for the best. We did go pretty quickly. We can probably ask at the guild if she's turned up. Or maybe at the inns. The guy, the Duke, turns around. Yeah, alright. Well, it's a couple of days' travel, so... we'll go out a bit, camp out in the night, and then get there by the next 2 days. And they start making their way.
They're camping out. Okay, good. They're not staying here for the night. Perfect. Alright, I head back inside and, shortly afterwards return to the table. Sit down still in disguise. And just throw the disguise. No, nothing interesting.
My disguise self was probably worn off by now, so I'm looking a bit like nervous. But what did they say?
Honestly, they don't know what they're doing. They're sniffing up every tree and not finding anything, and I think they're heading back to Crestfall. They're not sleeping here tonight. They're camping out. So you should be just fine if that's what you're worried about. And then just realizes he's sat there talking as a maid and just waves his hand and dispels it.
Thank you, Ambrose.
Not a problem, dear. Just keeping an eye out.
I grab a glass of whatever we're drinking and I'll raise it and say, To my new good friends, thank you all.
Two friends.
Daughters.
Two
As-
friends. And
as you
also
look-
victory and watches how Hjarlgron stumbling around.
Well,
Oh, I should
ironically
say that.
enough, as you all lift up your tankards and whatever else, your glasses, you see as Hjarlgron lifts the chair that you're sat on, Ambrose, and he just lifts you up.
Okay, off I go, I suppose.
There
He's just still got one leg over his knee and just his wine glass in hand. Where are we going? The guy looks down into the chair.
Just like
Never to be
Just
seen
like-
again.
raising you up and down, and then probably forgets that you're even there, and then just like throws his hand up, and then turns around, and then just like stumbles to another table, sees food, and then just goes for it. So I
Wait, so
basically
you
just
throwing
thrown
him
you.
up?
Yeah, I just threw him.
Oh, you throw me. Oh,
My
Yes.
god. Threw
Yeah.
him up.
So I was like bobbing you up and down, and then in my drunken stupor, I'm like, I'm hungry, and then like forget you're even there, throw you up, and then turn around to some random table, just hand on their food and eat him.
I guess reflex kicks in. How far away is the ceiling?
There's the ceiling's really high, but there's loads of beams and support beams and.
This is
like,
fucking shocking.
Grab a bean, yeah.
Yeah, can I try and, I mean, given my stickiness, spider
yeah,
climbiness,
you don't even need to.
as I'm in the,
Lucky-
as I'm in the
you
air.
don't even need to roll because obviously you have fucking spider climb essentially permanently. And much like a cat in a cartoon, you get flung upwards and you just stick to the first beam that you're thrown up to. And from here, you can see Hjarlgron kind of pick up this handful of just like food from another table, and these dwarves and halflings look to him. Hey, what you doing? You can't. That's my food.
I drunkenly look at him like a chameleon. One eye closes, opens, another one does. I'm hungry.
Oh yeah, I bet you bloody are the size of you. Do you fucking mind? I'm quite hungry myself, quite frankly.
Enjoy it, and the food that's on the table, I'll like smush them into his mouth.
Right, I've had it.
And then I, like,
Let's get him,
stand up
lads!
and
And you see all of these dwarves jump onto him and start like climbing up in his back. One of them's trying to get him in a neck lock. The other one's like wrapping around his leg. Go on, bring him down, lads!
From the rafter that he's like hanging on to, I'm gonna swing a leg over and then perch myself nicely on a ceiling beam. Take out my violin, give it a little and
One
then
of the
just start
halflings?
playing like a bar fight tune from the rafter.
The other bards
What-
clock this and also change their tempo.
Brandon, one of the halflings that tries to jump at me, I'm gonna grab him and just throw him.
Alright, roll a strength check. I'll compete with a commoner's athletics check. Oh shit, I have a chance! Oh, an 11.
Damn.
He's drunk as shit.
You kind of try and
He's
grab him.
actually drunk.
You try and grab him at your back, but your biceps are too big. You can't quite reach your lats from behind. And this guy kind of crawls up and manages to quickly wrap himself around you. Ah, yes, come on! You see these two dwarves bringing you down. You see one of them bring out a lasso. Hold them still,
any-
lads!
Are any of them like on my back at all, like behind me?
Yeah, one of them
Oh.
climbed up on your back.
With this, I'll just jump and I'll go backwards and land on them.
You just let your body fall as you kind of WrestleMania jump back. You can hear the halfling's last words, "Oh, fuck." And then, as you hear him, "Oh, myriads! Get him off me!"
And one of the ropes that's around me, I'll just grab it and yank it and just pull. I'm not even like pulling towards me, I'm just yanking to my side.
Right, roll another strength check. Oh, fucking hell. I rolled the natural one. Okay, yeah, so the dwarf at the end of this rope just gets fucking launched across the room. He was like holding the rope. Lads, it's too strong! And he just flies across the room as you see him
Oh, no.
smash against some
Were they
crates.
flung away from our table or towards our table?
No, towards the distance and like God knows where in the mire. You see them crash against a couple of tables. You can see Autumn
God.
beginning to laugh as he sees essentially a small dozen army of dwarves and halflings piling on top of Hjarlgron, trying to like bring him down. One of them gets this bottle and starts like pouring all of this ale onto him. I've blinded him! Quickly, go for the eyes! And you see them trying to poke your eyes out.
Are any of them like?
pandemonium!
Oh, are they using the fingers, or are they like, actually using weapons at all? Is it just...
No, they're using their hands. The only foul play is pouring ale onto your face. The rest of them is purely just grit and hands. The other ones are starting to tie your ankles to some of the beams of the building.
Wait, Brandon, what happens if I cast grease upon this pandemonium?
If you want to, go for it.
Do it.
Oh, God.
Wait, terrible
let me
idea.
Check, let me check if I didn't prepare it. Never mind.
Ah! But then Brennan says I'll allow it.
I mean, if you want to cast it, I'm more than happy to. You didn't do anything. You could have prepared your spells overnight if you wanted to. I don't mind.
You know what? I won't. I'll just watch this play out.
I was about to say we should intervene, but
I'm gonna grab one of them.
I
And
think
then
he
again-
has it.
And I'm gonna like,
I don't want to get in trouble.
you know, like
Just
you used to
watch.
do with action figures, where you'd like make them fly. I'm gonna do that with one of them, just across the table.
my God.
Alright, roll your strength check. Alright, competition with 13, and yeah, that's a fail. You grab him, and you just launch him across the room. At this point, the halfling embraces it, and he just pulls out his arms like wings. I'm flying! And he flies across the table and just skates along the table. Loads of more ale and food from across other tables flies up, and they're like, "Oh, prick, that's mine!" And they also start getting involved now, and they start beating up the other halflings, and everyone, other people are getting involved now.
Oh no!
I'll take two of them off and I say your friend's in trouble, and I'll throw them that way.
They actually seem into it. They're like, "Oh, yeah, go and launch me at them! Aim me at his head!"
Yeah, no, I'll do it. I'll look at the rest of them like if they're up for it as well. I'll like lower myself into like a throwing position.
Go and catapult me towards that fat guy. I'm about to fucking deck him.
Full send it. I'll launch him.
You start launching him across the room as the entirety of the room is rest kind of just all of a sudden lifts up into a bar fight of this group of halflings and dwarves fighting everyone else possible. Grabbing like ham legs and starting to beat people with ham bats essentially. "You wanted food, did you, you prick? Here, have some fucking ham!" Poof, whacks him across the head with this huge like meat wad of ham. It
Oh my God!
turns into pure chaos as it just descends
In the
into
rafters.
See the other bards joining along, picking up some food that's flying over. These bards are clearly well experienced with this environment. A tomato flies across the room. One of the bards grabs it, takes a bite, throws it again, and keeps going. Orton is just enjoying himself witnessing all of this. Yeah, pandemonium ensues, and
Pandemonium.
I can only imagine it would end with several patrons being bruised, probably bones broken for some of them, a fortunate few. And unless anyone else has anything else that they would like to do over the course of the night, then after probably about an hour or two of bar fighting and clobbering and enjoyment, it would eventually die down and people would either pass out on the ground or just eventually give up.
Yeah,
You're
from
pandemonium.
From the rafters will slowly descend down one of the sort of wooden beams. He just sort of like in the merriment just walks down it, hands in pockets, violin now stashed away, hanging off of him, and just walks down it like as if it's the floor.
You see this dwarf clock you, and he just opens his eyes and, "Oh my god, he's fucking
I just-
walking on walls." And then he just passes out and he just hits the ground. He doesn't know if he's seen something from like ale hallucinations or if he's actually just like witnessed a miracle. He doesn't have a fucking
Uber
clue.
drunk. Yeah.
I
Am I
step from the
upright or
beam
is he sideways?
to the floor with a very large Jack Sparrow-esque step and walk back over to the table.
How do you do that? Is it the shoes or is it you?
Well, you see, if you line the base of your shoes with a large amount of tree sap, then sometimes you can, easily scale a wall.
Not stick
I've been
to the
doing it
ground.
preemptively for days.
I I don't believe you.
You know, it's one of them deceptions where you just look at them and you're like, man, this man's full of shit.
Yeah. Like something you'd say to a child.
That's not a deception.
You guys are mistaking my clear lies of like humor and sarcasm for actual attempts at deception.
Hey, you never know.
But yeah,
Just shrugs it off.
You'll witness Hjarlgron just walk out.
probably with like
He's gonna go to sleep.
dwarves and halflings like
He's
strapped
finished.
to him. Probably a
Yeah.
dwarf, probably a dwarf in just like in a riot was like, you know what, I'm just gonna wrap myself around his leg and I'm gonna rope myself to him, and then yeah, what then, huh? And he's just gonna keep himself stuck to him.
I noticed
Oh,
that
buddies.
as I step out, I'll like keep the door open. Fly, little one, and I'll launch him inside.
Barrel rolls in, not even a wink wakes open. Man's gone.
And yeah, I'm gonna head over to Lassie.
Very
It's
well.
peacefully passed.
You know, as bar fights go, that was probably one of the best.
Nobody got seriously hurt.
No,
It was
exactly.
enjoyable to watch.
Hmm. Yes, it's the best one I've seen.
How are we in One Piece?
Well, if you just sit back and watch, usually you're fine as long as you don't get dragged into it.
How you know I think the people here are good people.
Yeah, they don't take it too far, you know? Although I did think I was going to go up into the next floor at one point.
Throwing dwarves across the room isn't taking it too far?
Not if they're
It's
fine with it.
The
You
fact-
heard it. They were screaming that with joy.
Well, in fact, they seem to be encouraging it.
They were enjoying
That was
it.
joy?
It was something.
I think it was just the chance to tell their families that they fought a giant man and lived.
The outside world is
No.
scary.
Rule number one from any halfling or dwarf: never take their food.
True.
All right.
Hell, it's gonna
Right.
stand up. I think
I'm gonna go
to
get
head
cleaned
to
up and
bed.
go to bed for the night.
Probably a good idea for all of us.
I caught a few stray scraps of food, so bath time for me.
The classic. The Nathan bath.
The
Yeah,
Nathan bath.
Very well.
I swear,
All
if you
his
put a man in my room while I'm naked, I'm gonna stab him outright. This
You
isn't
are
Phineas,
literally
this is
asking for
Pierce.
Yeah, that's too dangerous for me to put a random man into your room. He'll just fucking try and stab him to death.
Just surprise, stab. Oh
Stab him
no!
with what? You're gonna be naked? You're not gonna have anything to stab him with?
That's
Wow.
what you, that's what you
Drink.
think.
He's called Pierce for a reason.
Oh my god.
Oh no! Oh no!
Oh my
Oh, you dirty
This campaign
cretin.
is finished.
I'm done. I'm.
Well,
Jeez.
you all enjoy a good night's rest at the Romer's Rest. All of you that are sleeping within the Romer's Rest managed to gain a +1 to any ability check that you do for the next 24 hours. It's nothing big, but it's just a,
The ultimate power?
it is simply just the benefit of the Romer's Rest, that it makes you feel long rested and well kept, and that
Hell yeah.
you feel spring in your step.
On what check?
And any checks, it's just a +1 to all ability checks for the next 24 hours.
Nice.
It's nothing crazy, but it's just a benefit of the Romer's Rest.
Bro, with my rolls, a +1's the difference that I need.
It is for the next 24 hours if you want to keep yourself an idea of that on a tracker or a note on your notes pad or whatever. Just keep it in
I
mind.
got it.
But yeah, it's for the next 24 hours. And you guys can wake up upon the next morning with people still on the floor and, you know, sorting themselves out and whatnot. And you'd probably be awoken by the large kind of neighing, almost groaning sound of Lassie outside, and maybe some stomps from her, like walking around in the morning from wanting to stretch out and move around. But that's what you would all wake up to in the morning.
Are the rooms like up a staircase, or are they
The
downstairs?
rooms, the getting to each of the rooms is a story in of itself. This place has stairs that go up, sideways, downways, and some of them you have to just climb over banisters to reach the door frames, and some of them you have to go outside to loop back around to get onto the top of them.
Amazing.
Ambrose just took a fucking shortcut up a wall and into the door.
But yeah, with the next
Well,
morning with you, it's up to you guys what you would like to do with. Now that we're on the it was the 8th before we had the 3-day journey. 3-day journey.
We're on the 11th
9,
now.
10, 11. Yeah. Okay, so now it's the 11th.
If I sort of peek down into the main room, the main bar area, can I see or hear anything of the
You may
dudes that I don't like?
you may roll a perception check.
Fucking what check?
A perception.
Oh.
The 15,
Got it,
that's
got
a
it, got
good
it.
scout. As you kind of give a good look around, you see from the rafters at the top that you got a good view of everything, and as far as you can see, there's no sign of them. Like Ambrose
Alright,
said,
I'm
they
happy.
must have gone in the
Moved
night
on.
and start heading towards Crestfall again.
Cool. I'll head down. Is anyone else awake?
I'd be awake, probably.
Yeah.
Early riser, old habits.
Most assuredly, then.
Good morning.
Ambrose does like a classic, walking down the stairs humming to himself.
Alright, so what exactly is the plan for today?
Are we supposed to be heading off with this carriage rat?
To Frontier, right?
You're gonna walk inside. Might have a bit of the fear on him from Lassie.
Out of character, aren't we going to the Star Place?
Yes, that's why I was just saying.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Sorry, yeah.
Morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
How
How
are
do
you
you
after
feel?
yesterday's brawl?
Good. Could
I
use a
didn't
real
know-
fight though.
I didn't know dwarves were so aerodynamic.
Anyone is if you throw them hard enough.
Fuck.
And
Man,
I'll,
you
look,
alright?
I'll look at you and I'll look at Ambrose. You two
Hmm.
especially.
Oh,
I prefer to not be flung. Please.
I'll agree to your wishes for
Uh,
now.
For
I don't
now.
mind it as long as there's somewhere for me to land.
Good. I'll keep that in mind.
What do you mean for now?
I'll like look at Eldrith. There'll come a day. And then I'll look
At
back
least,
and won't elaborate.
at least fling me somewhere soft.
No. We had a few days spare before we head on the job. I looked at Eldrith again. You wanted to go to the temple, did you not?
I did. It was a point of interest for me.
Then, shall we depart?
Unless we have more things to do here.
Not that I know of, other than the hunt. We have no other reason to be here until we return.
No, I can think of one reason.
I'll
Yes,
look at him,
Ambrose?
let me guess. Then I'll look to Orton, and then I'll look back.
Is it important?
Alas, the road calls. And stretches a little.
Thought so. Stands up, and you'll hear like an offhand just. I'm guessing you got no luck, and then like just heads out.
It just looks at, I guess, Eldrith. I didn't even
Yes.
try anything.
Really?
No, I'm not just going to go barreling in there.
Well, that sounds like something you would do.
That's true.
What does that even mean?
Well, it's very in character, isn't it?
I'm not going to go whoring myself out there.
Insight.
Well, I never
I
said
wish
you
I was
were
there
going
to
to.
insight that.
Well, I never said you were going to whore yourself out there. If anything, you were going to whore yourself in there.
Oh, well, best to get a good judge of character before you go jumping to any decisions. Don't want to be rash.
Well, there's better ways of judging someone's character, Ambrose, but you're right on that account.
Exactly.
Well, better luck next time. We are heading back here anyway.
That we are. Very true.
Very well. Then we find ourselves once again on the road as we traverse the overworld.
The overworld, yay!
Overworld music.
As you guys see and enjoy the wonderful atmosphere and the rich culture of the Romans' Rest, they have to offer who they are and knowing them more. We're going to carry on only for a tiny bit longer, but I do want to leave off on something, so I am going to push forward a tiny bit more, another 10 minutes.
Oh yeah.
Let's go.
Fine.
Right, so you guys begin your journey towards the Starborn Temple, with a couple of things laid out in front of you. The idea of a hunt, possibly, closer to Frontier, an escort mission that you can help Mr. Gibbs with on the way there, and perhaps some clues towards Eldrith's mystery and his needs at the Starborn Temple. So, since you do have some time, why not spend the 2-day journey to the Starborn Temple and then a 2-day journey back? On the first day, as you guys leave the Romans' Rest behind, like I said, this environment is actually nice to traverse. It's a couple of small, dainty forests here and there, a couple of woodlands, but generally it's large, flat plateaus where you can see vastly ahead of you without having to worry about anything. Now, on the first day of your journey, there is no issue. But on the morning of the second day's journey, I would like for whoever is keeping out watch as you guys are marching away to please do a perception check for me.
Yeah, Hjarlgron's always looking. Especially after that bird. Yeah.
Poor
Perceptive.
bird.
Yeah.
Okay.
9.
Very well. Is anyone doing it or anyone else? Or shall I move on?
Yeah.
Alright. Okay. Hjarlgron, you don't spot much on your way around. You keep your eyes out and have a look around of the enjoyment of the distance, but in general, you don't spot anything out of the ordinary. P.S. As you guys are walking on the road, just faintly, ever so slightly off of the side into the tree line, you see a broken down wagon that is missing a wheel. You also notice, that part was obvious, but you also notice something interesting. Just off of the side, wrapped around one of the woodland trees, is some sort of red, silk-like material that gently blows with the autumn winds.
Huh. Hey, check that out.
Look over to it.
As Pierce pointed out, you notice the exact same thing I described. You all see a broken down wagon of some sort with a missing wheel, and next to it a tree that has some sort of cloth-like material wrapped around it, red-coloured.
Wasn't the hummingbird's thingy like some red material type thing?
No, as far as you're aware, the only thing you know of the hummingbirds is that they have a name called the hummingbird. The hummingbird.
I must be
Humming
thinking of
wings,
something
sorry.
Strange. I'll head over to him.
Dagger out. I'll go investigate as well.
Okay. As you both approach and head over, you can see as the kind of take a few steps into the tree line, covered by some shade of the trees. You notice the wagon is semi-empty. It's missing a wheel. The wagon itself has a single burlap sack that's closed up, and at the end of it, there is no horse to carry it anymore.
I want to go to the cloth specifically.
You go up to the cloth, and as you reach that cloth, and have a look around, you notice that only 6 trees away there is another cloth wrapped around it.
And beyond that?
If you take a few more steps and go to the next 6 trees in, you'd go to that one again. You look around, and another roughly half a dozen trees away, you see another tree wrapped with cloth around it. Almost as if someone's
Looks
left
like
themselves a path.
Looks like we've got markers.
Well, this is either a trap or somebody in distress. Someone maybe who's gotten a little lost and left themselves a trail back, but they don't seem to have returned.
Either way, there is 7 of us. 6 of us.
7, you're right too.
It's 7.
Yeah.
Well, a little detour.
Might find that bounty group you were talking about.
Someone could be in trouble. I don't see why not. But,
Helping others is always beneficial in one way or another.
All right. I'll lead on.
Brendan,
Yeah.
the cart, does it have any specific, like, markings
Yeah.
on it? Is it damaged in any certain way?
It's
like,
missing a
can
wheel.
I tell? Okay, it's missing a wheel.
Some
Are there
of the
claw
wood,
marks?
Some of the
or-
wood. Roll me an investigation. Let's have a look what you can find.
Oh, let's go.
And when you say
Let's
cart, or is
see.
it like basically just a? Sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, when I say cart, I
Is
literally
it-
mean like in the most basic form of a possibility.
Yeah,
Like
okay.
2 wheels with a
Yeah.
bit of space to shove some wood.
Wagon.
Yeah.
A flat surface with wheels on it. Yeah.
Yeah, essentially, yeah. With a lip so that nothing on the top of it can fall off. Alright, having a look. 25 blood, yeah. You notice the burlap sack, which obviously was very obvious in the corner. Opening it reveals just some standard supplies, some cooking utensils, some potatoes, a vial of maybe some oil. So just your standard kind of cooking supplies, essentially. The cart itself, apart from missing the wheel, you notice that on the edges of it, there's these small, tiny parts of the wood that have seemed to have been a bit kind of scorched, like when as if you were to hold like a lighter to a plank of wood for like a couple of seconds, and it slightly burns it, just like that, but dotted around the top right side of the cart. You also notice that there was definitely some sort of struggle of some kind, as the front of the cart, where someone would have been sitting, is got like indents, scrapes, and splintered wood.
Okay. There's no claw marks or whatever?
No claw marks, just the burning ones. And you notice on the ground that, like, you could have seen the faint remnants of some footsteps. Small ones, but many.
Ah. Okay.
The tracks of what they could possibly be at this point have been a little bit lost to weathering, but you do notice small footed indents rapidly around the cart itself.
So would they be like kind of goblin kobold sized? Since we can't determine what they're from?
Sure, yeah, we'll go with that.
Okay. But they're not big enough to be human bandits?
No, definitely not.
Just by size alone. Okay. Well, it doesn't look like we're dealing with humans.
That's either a positive or a negative.
And there's scorch marks on the cart.
Regardless of who or what did it, matters not to me.
Very well.
They die all the same.
Right. Well, while we're going deeper in, I'll start ritual casting the the good old detect magic because I do not want to be ambushed.
Very well.
Smart.
Yes, you said you were taking lead on this, yeah? Following the cloths.
Yeah.
As you continue following one tree to the next to the tree, you get led for at least a good solid 10 to 15 minutes into the forest. Just on the side. To a part where it's a bit more hilly and crowded. You eventually arrive at some sort of what appears to be a dead end, and you can see a cloth wrapped around one of the bigger trees, and against this large wall that you're seeing, which is some sort of cliff to a larger hill, you can see ever so slightly kind of like a burrow, a hole into some sort of cave. You can see already from here stalactites that kind of hang from the ceiling, really tiny ones at the mouth of this opening. Big enough to fit all of you. And you can see just on the edge of it a piece of red cloth that is kind of stuck on one of the rocks, trying to kind of fly away with the wind, but the rock is stopping it from moving.
Curious. Well, who wants to go in the spooky cave?
Hjarlgron just walks in.
I'll follow Hjarlgron.
Always down for a spooky cave.
For those of us that do not have night vision, or dark vision, or any type of vision for the dark, I'm going to cast Dancing Lights.
Very well. The small globules of starlight float around you permanently. And as one by one you wander into the maw of this cave, you feel as if the autumn cold and bite begins to disappear. As you all step into the mouth of this cave and slowly wander in, the atmosphere changes rather quickly. It's cavernous, it's dark, but oddly enough it's warm. From the inside you can hear in the distant kind of faint sounds echoing of maybe breathing and maybe even some grunting of large kind of nostrils from large breaths. As the warmth and the heat kind of highlights your cheeks and all of you begin to feel a bit more weary, that is where we're going to leave it for today's session.
Sure.
Okay, I'm dodging allegations. Let's go.
Yeah.
now.
Let's go.
Watching allegations.
For now.
So yes, thank you all
Damn.
very much
You're all
for
amazing.
watching. I hope you enjoyed a little bit of a world building and lore environment, as well as a lot of kind of character interaction to understand where we're from and who we are. It was quite a nice engaging session. So thank you so much, and
Really fun.
until next week, I hope you guys have a long rest. Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.